amom so free 18 be high so player no kra no tuatua o training kra no onko. A typical example Alexander Isaka is a final one journey Liverpool no and where do we draw the line na yetimi asolve that problem and so da hono ni nyina no yebedi san komo no ewo ayamanene na yebefia say offer bia Black Stars of Ghana budgeter anra Kofi Adams and so edibetu dano na yebedi nkomo no in fact utie minister as the proposed budget every the mom no na around $1.2 million for the child game na yebebo no na according to minister no say budget ne beto mani niam bi ho no ma o ma slash o ma yi obi nso no ma twetwe bi so na say budget no of 1.2 million o ma slash niam no about $856,000 US. Yeah, cover na yenso no about the timing of the budget. Nipani before said there be niema cost no. Eba say ya as a bema the attention of at the game record budget ne so ebi so fu so ebema niema cost so bi a obi peso kan chichi bi no ni na ne betimi ayi na enso etimi ade fa ugina he onso obetimi ade onso dia pesa woka ade fa ho no ode aba YouTube Insha TV na garbage from dia kwama ni aba ye ba ne enso abekira dwen etimi ade afa me kasa Black Star team no omo awo Chad Chrome ho Jamina nyamia do china na game no eba so Ghana time 1 p.m. yen komrai da san komani na ne bedi awo show no so Insha 4.5 Riches me Donkor Richard Odier, good morning. Yen kwama ne nimra.
Bema wo junso ni mu pa.
This is their business number here and no I don't know.
Then
Manchester.
Oh, so Holland ko. Didi Sancho ko.
Anthony ko.
Anthony so.
Anthony they no do better school. Ni be go train of hey. Anthony.
So the bobo.
But mom won the never.
Oh dear. So who knew?
Arija.
I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
If you know how to be chichi.
There's a Ganacho who plays almost call about here fa. There's a Ganacho be farmer here. And I got to the Matias.
Well, my men shall not go. And John
got to the
one blessing.
As I know, go
to my domain.
So, what this was how?
No problem.
Come have a patch.
Now, disaster.
Disaster. When your team was in here.
Okay, Sterling Zoho.
So, got the other highest paid player team. Say now,
yeah, I'm panic buying.
Take you for the idea. Did you have? Sterling said that. Say no landing team party on coming.
No landing team better.
Say Fulham.
How many days?
Say come patch like a Fulham. I did that. Unya say no landing team party. So we just negotiate for what na take in Saudi Arabia. The bomb price is Saudi for the kakra beji.
Okay.
But we know that closing nicely.
Sure.
And no, the very last thing is see we win do him no. I think say a football kakra. Some records are to top form our transfer window. But before we talk about all of those things, Rich, me babe can't send me waha and me taika, and it is essentially about idea de bia me can say a business decision, and I say near my Emma Eduman Kanko Ebano. Most of the times, I know a lot of people are too fixated and only too emotional about businesses, especially with football fans. Medical can have some more the emotions boom, but we've also said say the positive and the right emotions no, and the important emotions to use. Which you say now you say Mark Gay after sending Liverpool for Aya Isaac Jumana. Gay was supposed to move on to Liverpool.
Why the medical square?
It's
a rancher and the medical savvy. Me I thought so.
In fact, on one case crown, who's the medicals no you were London. It's yes on any mammy, ni papa is suffer. And I'll tell you a story. Ni papa is suffer. Here from a very, very huge religious background. Ubeka last season. Abrana Premier League said Omumbo armband of LGBTQ lesbianism gays and seven. He was part of the two captains, Oni Mosi of a friend is formerly of Ipswich Town. And the can say Omo are very religious. And then they come from religious backgrounds. In Kenya, don't know what's our captain's armband. His father is a pastor. Which, according to the papers I was reading, and met up with the family at where a bunch of friends of gay medical anyway, hoping that immediately they get a green light, they will go. Which, Uni Mariana El Corso or Crystal Palace team on. You see, Oliver Glasner catches Steve Parry say Onya Tom McGay, he will resign.
Because the replacement now no more pay from Brighton.
Yeah. And go to, and even with that, so that even every year as the Echo Arsenal, it took them a while to even go and get Jeremy Pino. And what can several times Jeremy Pino, no, he is not exact fit of what he wants as a player. It is a Onya Tom McGay, he will resign. Rich, and McGay has prepared and everything. I think saying this transfer window, players are not more person make you move out of their clubs now. On and on, the most classy and professional about every match because each as a crowd, more games to be. He played every game. He was the captain of the team. Which any hints so if you clubbing him. And I don't know. A camera say a bano players. Not say one more when you are in clubs no more. And Ishak and Johan Wis have taught us that this summer, even with Nicholas Jackson. Which the relationship between clubs and players, don't ever be emotional about it. The clubs will always win because they will take it from the business point of view. In case Liverpool probably would have stressed the issue. And they waited till deadline so you have forms now. So you have to stay in for another summer. Once the player said that he wants to go, from Maggi, Wakacha Crystal Palace over into only team no Omajiatu. Then last minute, coach said because sporting director Anyene Juma and with the coach Buofu and it affecting him. How is he going to go and play football? He thought he was going to live his childhood dream. Now, Yenio Raman Osman Chiro article be for the Sun. He titles it from sleeping in his mother's living room to being a star boy at Crystal Palace and a possible move to Liverpool. Rich. It chronicles the beautiful story of Mark Gay and how much of a professional model he is. But the truth also is that, Rich, I thought now you're too nicer. The nice people don't win. And that's the story of Abranti Fred Mark Gay.
Oh, so professional.
But Rich, professional, no?
No, may to some extent,
yeah.
It drew maybe a new players in the yard, especially if you are a ball club now, man, is how to go.
Yeah.
Or Managerial.
Yeah.
Then a bedroom time and say I'm out.
I feel your story
as stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes always stubborn.
Yeah.
But I also think say Obi to say Isaac for instance.
Yeah.
No contract with the team.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Newcastle. Yeah.
Oh, contract with them.
Yeah.
Contract ne emba na wi here.
Yeah.
Yen ye ni wo ye adwuma.
Yeah.
You feel say you ton wa emboye.
Yeah.
And the na obey.
Minsu na minsu no we adwuma. Na me se adwuma na me yawo. Se metina ha me tiri wo anwum fa me timi ya adwuma ni yi ti ton me na me nko.
Why?
Because I want to go. You see, one club no bring interest. But player ni bring interest there. Na football fans bofu.
See it you
Any on ka say na baby okori ejare. Oh no, enye sika asem.
Na dey.
And because the interest open the carry and cancro. Rich, Liverpool fans were sad, angry, insulted Trent Alexander-Arnold when he wanted to go to Real Madrid.
But men so there's between you and they disagree.
I understand that, but I say,
the moment you do that, you on your professional.
And yes, but I'm trying to say that it looks as if those who are unprofessional get their way, and those who are model professionals don't get their way.
Crystal Palace today, untimi for Tom Biblio, because what boy money and say about more by your replacement.
You boy money, boy no, I can't 1 year on the contract so. In January, he can sign a pre-contract agreement with Liverpool. About a long time ago, they knew he would go. Until one back replacement in them. Then you are telling me that because when your replacement in outcome and city, it's unfair.
Replacement now, I will be player.
Rich, transfer you do. Rich, this transfer you do. Did you ever see Crystal Palace going after a centre back until a Nani and Rechi on Ego Diano? No, they were sitting aloof. Last minute, I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. That fine, all of us may not be certain, but have you ever seen any player that was linked with Crystal Palace apart from Ego? The only one I heard last minute was Axel Desasi. And no crown was there last minute. Rich, me, they have not been fair to a branch of friend Maggie.
That's a transfer to
you see, maybe
on train.
Oh, January, the head of
on train.
Or maybe in the summer you go for free.
I'm on for no uncle.
But how much it?
The best thing is our branch here.
Oh, Rich, what I'm saying is that now you want to say you move to call Newcastle. And now I only need Jaji. Alexander Ishak so coil. And everything has gone on. Very, very excited. Why? Because he was emphatic. One go training. The Saudi people that own Newcastle came to his home. He spoke about the fact that he wants to stay, he wants to move on from the club. And but wants to be more club media. And he had told them before. He said at this point in time, he feels like he wants to move on. Rich, unless Okas is can open Unya. But Liverpool are always willing to pay. Liverpool came first with 100 million and also will pay replacement. So yes, I can agree, I can understand. Get your replacement, but make sure say player no negotiation so will be granted. Look at this thing about Nicholas Jackson and how Nicholas Jackson Coco PMO Ewo Germany. Now Chelsea say come back and come and play because Liam Delap is Rich me a Chelsea. Immediately Chelsea brought Liam Delap and then they brought Joao Pedro. Now Joao Pedro and Liam Delap elbow ball or more ball. Automatically, it means that Nicholas Jackson was third choice striker. Anybody can argue, and I'll agree with them, say Nicholas Jackson has had his chance for 2 seasons to be the main striker. He has not lived up to the billing. 2, Mesasuji Tum say, in and around the tail end of last season, I brought Chelsea go away to Newcastle. No Kokodi is a red card. No sense back in a Club World Cup in a game against Flamingo where Chelsea were losing and they needed to fall on him. No sense could the red card. Rich, at that point in time, I wouldn't be surprised Enzo Maresca felt like he can't trust him again. Because in 2 big occasions, he pay top 4 about Champions League. Bravo Bomaye, what could the red card? That's a mistake, fine. Then you come back in the Club World Cup game against Flamingo. Now you team that from 2-1. Obaya, which Sir Nicholas Jackson come you know. Me just say do 10 minutes. Obaya no of stamp you behind red card. He gave an opportunity to Liam Delap. He gave an opportunity to Joao Pedro, and they took it. So I can understand that the Chelsea entourage felt that okay, we can't trust him again, and we need to move on from him. I've always believed that Joao Pedro was not bought to be a striker. Chelsea probably bought him up from the left wing or as a number 10 backup and as part of a second striker. But given what happened to Nicholas Jackson, they had to move on from him. But Rich still, also we're moving on. Mimpe club, me agent per club. TV, Aston Villa, AC Milan, Bayern, Wajiatum. I go and arrange Bavaria. Now we play a prayer. Or say I should turn back and come. Which psychologically, it is not fair. I've zoned out. I'm moving to the next club. What's the memory? Which me calling agents now money and and trying and convince Bayern and say Bayern should do a deal for him. He would have come back to Chelsea. How would he have played? And I mean beside Dr. Kofi said, Sir Jackson Babaka. How is he going to mentally psych himself to play for Chelsea?
Because psychologically,
you're ready. He's out.
Oh
yeah, me, I wanted him to go, honestly speaking, because Rich, Rich, you see,
business.
Rich, from your Rich, Nicholas Jackson lets Chelsea down. And me Makani several times say, in Kofobe almost time, almost cancer for Nicholas Jackson when they compare to Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba's first 2 seasons, he didn't perform better than Nico. Everybody can pull out the statistics. Nico was better in the league than Didier Drogba in his first 2 seasons.
So where from your man a chance born to me?
No, again,
almighty Didier Drogba, 2 seasons.
Yes.
Performance of the man Chelsea. So what to talk? Tax in the also there. Then I think the man you fair to him.
You see, again, it comes back to Obibeka's fee. They be able to Chelsea in common. I will say the context of where the club is. In the context of Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard and the likes could shoulder some of the pressure and score goals, and the club was fine. But Nicolas Jackson was at the point where you're the main striker, no backup, and the whole club you can afford Chelsea. Chelsea didn't give him a backup striker. It even in times when he needed support, say Kopa was here offer. All the pressure is on him. And now the good thing is that for me, Nicolas Jackson is gone for a good amount of money. Chelsea and Yanni Sika, Nicolas Jackson co. Agents doesn't matter. Or no, when your project papa man the players, agent who play by his fair snapping over 6 months at the top level, the man above you, and then they when you correct project amano. I know that in the German Bundesliga he will play well. He will be very, very successful. Our German Bundesliga him, and I think that he's going to go on and go to a good place. Which have you asked yourself how Anna is going to use Alexander, any Ekitike, any Florian Wirtz, any Mohamed Salah, any Cody Gakpo, any Domenico Szoboszlai.
Gakpo ba open this season. And like this, I don't know bench now. Then so, Ekitike
left on him.
Left. Then on the Arrowhead. Hey. Likely.
The Liverpool team, this is going to give Ancelotti a lot of variations. Obetimi on a regular 4-2-3-1.
And as about Gakpo.
Yeah.
Then Ekitike Kakana watch Liverpool. I don't think it's on bench now.
No, Obetimi about Gakpo and Ekitike in a 4-4-2 flat. That means that the midfield two.
What happens to Isaac?
Isaac and Ekitike in the top 2. No about Mohamed Salah as a right winger, as a right RCM on the right hand side.
No about Gakpo.
No about Gakpo on the left. It means that extra midfielder Bakubet launching, maybe for Anviet. So this is going to be game dependent. Also, Mohamed Salah will go for the AFCON in December. If he goes, it's now 1 whole month of somebody going to play, and Ancelotti has to change something. Still, Jeremy Frimpong ain't free injury name by. So it means that the midfield slot automatically a bench friend Domenico Szoboszlai is now the right back, and they can do a lot of rotations. Alright, these are two top. Only say Ekitike and Isaac are similar. Omiyina are very versatile forwards. Omiyina drifted. They are good ball carriers, and they are also excellent finishers in the game. Which Liverpool has a good attack. They have a very, very good attack. And now, Utie Alexander, I'll say, I want to create history. I want to win trophies. That's ultimately the biggest motivation for me. And I feel like this is the perfect place for me to grow even further and to take my game to the next level. Talking about Abrantia Yefreno, Alexander Isak, and Koko PMO Honorage. And now Chelsea for now have made a history of being the highest income earners in one summer. £307 million. Any Sky Chelsea for Eton. I think they've done a very good job. And when it comes to player sales, they've done very well. And also managed to be very competitive, winning the Club World Cup. And this season, after 3 games, the team is in a very, very competitive spot. Yes, I'm a little bit worried about the fact that Liam Delap is plan, which Enzo Maresca will not be happy that Liam Delap is not there. Even with the recall of McGill enye the out and out replacement of Liam. Liam essentially is a profile and not Chelsea any last season. Not Chelsea here somebody who was a box dominant striker. Obi Oba against low blocks now. Now everybody say Chelsea M2 crosses M2 box ni ma. Sani Pakoni bit make dominating box no with the movement, the aggression, the aerial duels say Sani man to be able to at least get a goal. They didn't have that. And they brought in Liam. And what it means that Chelsea are skin thick thin attack on them. Now Liam's ability to hold that play. So much the Chelsea 2 games were about at Crystal Palace. Enzo Maresca decided to go long. First, not Chelsea but they built every time through the thirds. Now with Liam Delap, Chelsea can now go direct to Liam. In his absence, Maresca would have to now change things. And I think it's a little bit worried. Rich, do you know that the majority of the Chelsea attack this season are new players? And this is something I was telling you at the beginning of the transfer window, especially when the conversation of Noni Madueke, Nicolas Jackson ever happened. I was worried. Say Chelsea's most experienced attackers now. You don't let them go now. but now Facundo Fenis and Bonanote, Oshe, Jamie Gittins, Alejandro Garnacho, Joao Pedro, Liam Delap, Esteval. These are all new players to the Chelsea fold. Yes, some of them have played in the English Premier League, but then fairly very, very new to the Chelsea fold. I think that the transfer window has been exciting. And now, what is your thought on Sami Lamens? What's your thought on him, Sami Lamens?
He's good, but me few say problems now you come to see. Here, Emi Martinez. We need experienced goalkeeper.
But who told Manchester United that you need to win today? I don't understand. Emi Martinez is probably going to give you another 1 to 2 years, and that is all. So why do you by force need Emi Martinez today?
Goalkeeper.
Oh, you're young.
Say me remember. The American
Okay.
Now your problem is goalkeeping.
But you're bad goalkeeper.
Minkas were bad.
About a finished product in the and I make
to solve the problem.
And I'm saying that you don't particularly need finished product to solve the problem. You need a good goalkeeper. He may be young, but the American say you've made mistake in buying players that are old. 1, 2 seasons. Now half the players don't mean Bobby Casemiro.
Goalkeepers.
Clear cut example.
Goalkeepers there. Obey me at the bed 3-4 years.
No, but 3-4 years you move on from him.
And that time young goalkeeper be obey to now so call it.
Then you still go na Sami Lamens no onya krasa how.
Him sir, but he's too young. Charlie, your goalkeeping problem no all to be solved my.
Is he rich? Manchester United fans, we are fixated on winning today. That's the problem.
Obia no fixated.
We are fixated.
Martin. There's a problem. Problem here per se solve. Meboa. And it's always solve problem now. You go for the power bob solve problem. Any point fed on also over
Lamens has been playing for in Belgium.
Antwerp.
Of course, Royal Antwerp but now on him. Now goalkeeper Oyadi I saw Oyadi.
Matilde. Sana be catches Udana.
Nana the one I can. Nana the one I can. Sada was okay. Rashus Wulan. What I can the Kofi. I don't play oh.
30 seconds.
Okay. Omudi bets. My time has soon be so I can't put it up for you. But Michelle on all social media, Fifi Manfred handles quotes no go on them. Go back and pick it up. And man maybe some gonna cook with and Rich. Make sure you any face odds. Any fixed games be our hasi. Purely analytical work near Shisha. Send me uncle for winning. Thank you.
Frank Yaboa, our YouTuber, say Gay has been professional enough. Oliver Glasner, who was not being selfish.
This is their business number here, and I don't know.
Gay.
Manchester.
Oh, so Holland call. It is Sancho call.
It is Sancho Anthony call.
Anthony,
they're not do but it's group war. You pay go trying to say, Anthony.
So the Bobo.
But Momo one they never.
Oh dear. So who knew?
I
don't know.
Yeah, I did.
If you are not a bit to
there's a Ganacho who plays almost caught about here. And there's a Ganacho by farmer here. And I got to the Matias.
Well, my men shall not go. And John
got to the Hindi.
One blessing.
As I know,
to my domino.
So, what this was how?
No problem.
Come have a patch.
This has you.
When your team was in here.
Okay, Sterling Zoho.
How come the other highest paid player team? Say now.
Yeah, no panic buying.
Take you for the idea digital. Sterling said that. Say your landing team body on coming.
No landing team better penal.
Say a Fulham.
How many days?
That come patch like a Fulham at the Zara. Unya say your landing team body. So we just negotiate for what not take in Saudi Arabia. The bomb by the Saudi fund the Kakabeji.
Okay.
But it's window not closing nicely.
Sure.
And no, the very last thing is see we win do him no. I think say a football kakra. Some records are to top form our transfer window him. But before we talk about all of those things, Rich, me babe can't send me waha and me taika. And it is essentially about idea de bia me can say a business decision. And I say Nhyira ye Emma adwuma kan ko eba no. Most of the times I know a lot of people are too fixated and only too emotional about businesses, especially with football fans. Medical can have some body emotions boom, me in film. But we've also said say the positive and the right emotions, no, and the important emotions to use. Which you say now him say Mark Gay after sending Liverpool for an eye in Saka Jumana. Gay was supposed to move on to Liverpool.
Why the medical square?
It's
around the medical savvy. Me I thought so.
In fact, on one case crown, who's a medical no you were London. It yes on any mammy, ni papa is suffer. And I'll tell you a story. Ni papa is suffer. From a very, very huge religious background. Obeka last season. Abrana Premier League said Omumbo armband of LGBTQ, lesbianism, gays, and seven. He was part of the two captains, Oni Mosi, of a friend, formerly of Ipswich Town. And the guy said, Omo are very religious. And then they come from religious backgrounds. In Kenya, don't boss our captain's armband. His father is a pastor. Which, according to the papers I was reading, Nipapa sorry, and met up with the family at where a bunch of friends Mark Gay medical anyway, hoping that immediately they get a green light, they will go. Which Mariana Air Course or Crystal Palace team on. You see Oliver Glasner catcher Steve Parry say Onya Tom Mark Gay he will resign.
Because the replacement now no more pay from Brighton.
Yeah. And go to, and even with that, so that even every year as the Echo Arsenal, it took them a while to even go and get Yeremy Pino. And what can several times Yeremy Pino, no, he is not exact fit of what he wants as a player. It is a Onya Tom Magay, he will resign. Which Enra Magay has prepared and everything. I think in this transfer window, players are not more person make you move out of their clubs now. On and on the most classy and professional about every match. Because as a crowd, more games he played every game. He was the captain of the team. Which any hints so if you clubbing him. And I don't know. A camera say a bano players. Not say one more when you are in class no more tone. And Ishak and Yohan Wissa have taught us that this summer, even with Nicholas Jackson. Which the relationship between clubs and players, don't ever be emotional about it. The clubs will always win because they will take it from the business point of view. In case Liverpool probably would have stressed the issue. And they waited to deadline them so you have forms now. So you have to stay in for another summer. Once the player said that he wants to go, from Magay, Wakacha Crystal Palace into a team no Omajiatu. Then last minute, coach said because sporting director Anyene Juma and with the coach Buafu and it affecting him. How is he going to go and play football? He thought he was going to live his childhood dream. Now, Yenio Raman Osman Chiro article before the Sun. He titles it from sleeping in his mother's living room to being a star boy at Crystal Palace and a possible move to Liverpool. Rich, it chronicles the beautiful story of Mark Gay and how much of a professional model he is. But the truth also is that, Rich, I thought it'd be now you're too nicer. The nice people don't win. And that's the story of Abranti friend Mark Gay.
Professional.
Marriage professional, no?
No, may to some extent,
yeah.
It drew maybe I'm new players in the yard, especially if our ball club now man is how to go.
Yeah.
Or my Giatun.
Yeah.
Then a bedroom time I say I'm out.
That feel your story.
As a stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes always stop on
yeah.
But I also think Obi to say Isaac, for instance.
Yeah.
No contract with the team.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Newcastle. Yeah.
Oh, contract with them.
Yeah.
Contract ne emba na wi
yeah.
Yen ye ni ye adwuma.
Yeah.
You feel say you ton wa emboye.
Yeah.
And dia na obey.
Me so na me so no ye adwuma. Na me se adwuma na me ya ma o. Se me tena ha me tiri wo anwum fa me timi ye adwuma ni ye ti ton me na me nko.
Why?
Because I want to go. You see, one club no prove interest. But player need bring interest. Yeah, not football fans go.
See it, you
any on case now baby or Korean. No, and yes, it case. And because in the interest opening the carry and cancro. Rich Liverpool fans were sad, angry, insulted Trent Alexander-Arnold when he wanted to go to Real Madrid.
But men so there's so between you and they disagree.
I understand that, but I say,
the moment you do that, who's on your professional?
Yes, but I'm trying to say that it looks as if those who are unprofessional get their way, and those who are model professionals don't get their way.
Crystal Palace day, untimi for Tom Bibu, because what boy money and say about more by your replacement.
You boy money, boy, no, I can't 1 year on a contract, so in January he can sign a pre-contract agreement to Liverpool. About money a long time ago, they knew you go into one back replacement in them. Then you are telling me that because when your replacement in outcome and city, it's unfair.
Replacement in a you will be player.
Rich, transfer Rich, this transfer you do. Did you ever see Crystal Palace going after a centre back until a Nani and Rechi on Ego Diano? No, they were sitting aloof. Last minute, that's what they said.
I don't think
so. That's why I'm saying that fine. All of us may not be certain, but have you ever seen any player that was linked with Crystal Palace apart from Ego? The only one I heard last minute was
situation being there. Then you fix it. But the major transfer window, summer year, and window no are close Europe no. Now as usual, you close transfer window no. Rich. It has always been like that in recent history. Say, you find league by league. The top 5 European leagues, you know, the Sika wom, na money to spend has always been the Premier League. And within the Premier League, there were around 153 transfers across Ewomu. Rich. According to this graphic, you know, the Premier League expended 3.5 billion euros. Athletics say it was around 3.09 billion pounds. And almost spend a year. Billion pounds. And almost spend a year. Followed by Serie A 1.19. Bundesliga 856, La Liga 683, then the French League are 637. So these are the figures, and so where the gap between the Premier League and even though this can reach, it's too huge.
2 billion.
Yes, too huge. It tells you the kind of sika a Premier League and Premier League clubs, you know, purchasing power or more. That is the reason why. Rich, Fun can go to the French League and even buy players from Marseille, Mune, Lyon to come to Omo club.
YouTube handle and to call YouTube and Nhyira TV. Nhyira TV our YouTube na fe yet me edin koma kakra na yet me pape e de ro messages no we the bible pam ya back in caring na e de ma nyame anim ne ma me nsa sa na me fa sam no amfama na another ana answer me back to say transfer no ye close na ya 2 days ago na anopa ye so de ya e se ye bo e che kakra he na me ko ne mama na me ka so oh na sa cha sa Ghana this year ya player bi o ye free agent am say woni team bia me bon country kwa chire kwa ya sa ya ba ko ho enti pato players didi suwe aye players in play omuni team bia emom open assign na aye free bonto na fe wetimi assign no hakim ziyet me pato woni team bia we free agent afa branch de Christian Eriksen ana fe Tomiyaso jawo aye Toko aye Ekambe ana fe Deli Ali Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain ana fe branch de Bamford Ben Yedder woni team bia Samuel Utite ana fe Mendy wonzo any team bia Calvin Kuzawa wonzo any team bia Africa Zuma anso ubenya banta ne dinadi amafe afe aye Yuan Baka Yoko wonso any team bia Sergio Regulon anso ana aye okay we anso aye banta ne dinadi Lowizo Insene wonso na no dana me hu sa aso wonso pe ba bi akọ Benaventura ni team bia afe Dalot anso any team bia ana aye abranta ne dinadi kanati hia na to eno a hode onya ba ku bi hwanya ba bi akọ he emom dale na mate me pato amate ni timbia anti aya na ma he no so na ja matimi so atimi abo asaja ye benya ba bi di abante na kwa Jason Denaya me pato no so any timbia anti ano yankoba kakwa so a etota awotuma die so na no pay me gba che kakwa adi amabara anu anta abante ni de kie go no han wono de ni ti no matimi complete here anti okwa Tasara and not the official when you're signing at the from Manchester City Bobo Kono and no air reporter about our Jumedia Sanano pay make a check a crack at the man now and make a report there. Nidia, sir. Yasin Nano that ni Citiana and Tibanco duo, the Ghana, your friend ITs, you know, Mepato, Nidia, Yasan Quanco do, I'll take crowd will be better for you, BBR. Yes, so more transfer, the enemy and so Quaco Dunanka, or Matima ready Sabrantano, Adeno and some Antibanco. Reporter mensaka sir and confirm the FIFA after na FIFA di confirmation baba say make report obetimi esakan Adjamaleti club Bibao and I say Bibao bobo kono entry register brand no say amba on time and so na transfer window no wamusu close and make report reporter if your brand na katem adi eba e wo dumadi so na no pe no e de ho nkoma kakra adi adana me call the Spotify Camp Nou ekoha de kakra hey basa for almost a dom na me so ma yo confront the and there am so many sakan and so her answer had na ye fe papa he said the boss almost a dom nyame anim on the face of it and I made the campadia and you make us am say La Liga no e benya back over the new Spotify come no I so on the 13th and also on the 14th of September Barcelona e betime sakan afen ye to official communique and so as benya ba and no ye tie free Barca kate at the eba na mobaka Jamal Musiala ni nemu buye na nasty injury ana brantano ansu enya in fact ni na nemu bu pain ama na ha dwuni ye pa mu ana tasa mu TV kwa de wote kekere ama brantano tetema na anu ata ana tasa ye ko bi sa brantasa na no da yenim se jali du na ruma ana ma o press empire we na ye mi sa se wa ye okay ana so or responding to treatment enya ma nyina kama man according to the plan the one we see epeno emese ne manyina and so kama the man asisi no so nam kwa wan said the ensu crutches p afa no asase etutusu nkakaka te sa akoda afa ne ye chere nante no o gidie ye pass enkwa nim kakra no na afa ne manyina kama the man no Bayern Munich como player Jamal Musiala enkoma kakra banta na dipa atase na no peye ka chere kakra the ama awodumade so na Manchester United yako musika sema mo mianka homada ne baso na fo wo ka sika sem pe no mu buafu mo so amuni ska bia ho na sasa Emiliano Martinez Manchester Antiman no enye bibia o Manchester say ni wages no no was really partner yes Catherine now obedi £200,000 a week Manchester United we are no so do there be £200,000 a week pa there and now there's so metia for Branton the dinner Emi Martinez Emiliano Martinez Aston Villa omugo keeper nti is the reason why here a Branton and Manchester United and you come back akwa mete ewo adwumadi so na another mebeye gagai ebeka sawa ha sakwa Raheem Sterling no yeso bia so ompe Saudi for kwa poso obope ngadi jagopo Raheem Sterling yes such as for so there be say aja ya close Europe ebia Turkey for no baba ana Saudi for no baba kwa bra besi ne yes akoko jonso kra ebi ma ho se wo mo pe Raheem Sterling ti de ade na ya ne aboya so enya aboya so na o he se ni sika so ade say bem £300,000 a week wonya we training kwa nya kwa ke mani ye training wo kobam enso still akwa be sika enti zade bosoma yakofa besi yaso ye Raheem Sterling obi ase enya de so pe ano ye reporter mensaka e wadumade so semprempe ya make say no fa bia ba de en minim enti Raheem Sterling so de no but Lionel Messi me konkomo kogura mu kodi nkoma kaka ekowa ya yase wanhwe ya e bia Argentina wo mu game against Ecuador wo hwe na banta no anso anko ansa na no da no prior back na omuso mu guso omototo ne ma enti wo mo he ebia Inter Miami enya Branton be kasa no metimi e decide ye na Oba hwese bia obetumi atenache na wa hwe ama ne ho atimi ato ne yie pa anom ayedialo ne mese efi na kate adi ababara ni nyina ne yese ebedina Lionel Scaloni so Argentina head coach so se obetumi adi side nti so far ano ayedi affiliate ne mese akate adi Dini Henderson and so Dini Hoyson rather a player de man Real Madrid nano dana brante ne kona kwabna akwada ne se sa Madrid no ayo mayo Madrid no so wo ma yemfie hunsie wo so ko Madrid ya manfo hu no enya asem goto se to da bi ko pia bontena won bezo obi abehu ni ntia ne so pese se de ese na ni ani bofu a enti se na nkoba ya nkoba hu no ozi so na manfo timi we recognize no sometimes was it onankasa ne ka no yusu na wafre uba fo bi so mefa no kwabra so be ya no matin se sa won no timi se ozi Madrid ni de nyame anim ni wo bo Madrid a atisen kan na jaze kotoko ne hazo folk no what te kura nyeye enti ano de o kam obi atise Madrid ni de nyame anim ni eyo man eno so eya branch de de din hoisen enkoba kakọ de tuta ano tese wo ba Madrid na de ba kwa wa hu sa manfo bebre ka player ni de Sergio Ramos omko so very aggressive ana afe wo ye good pa wo he goes was ade ba kwa ye ne nwanwa manfo enka ho asem eya branch ne passes was this Ramos ama passa baby or the pass ni se no ho pepe na be kwanti officer abranto no attribute pia emesa dodo na nka wansam na hono ne bobo no esa abranto ne de pepepe passes akama eba no se aggressive no so kama ana afe eba no so se goal no sa bibia so kama ade mana ne yedin white ne koma kakwa wade twitwa awodwumade no so no ana ebisa so okay sakati no wo made no bo penalties enti ene won so abai wo bebo penalties ana no so ebo mi na nipa egu hoyi na ada wo hwele na nkrofu egu he minya bi mo entonso da he kraze okope mad the penalty abo team anu ayedi ne hoisen enkoba kakra bante na adi tuja no no ane ebisa se aya wutami ebo aya cross carpet aya passes wudina tire ube wansa wa ma pass no to aya other side na wan e che wo sade no ana ho che so ni papa ana che se e che ne sade no na ni papa tam o so kwabna wo se ni papa tam ane bo o 9 years no ni papa nya ya wo se bo Fancy Park neti also bo no atimi se ayire so enko ba bia 50 meters kura enu enso ne papa ma ne boy sa o se anom anene abo na te so hit ball na wotimi enso no eye long air passes no ene ye dia banter edutwa bia wuru afia ha ana te se wuche no on your number one can radio say ana nkomo no enso ACTF
Nhyira FM 104.5. And we are dead.
Okay, and team Adian mu yediampa makato se uko aya YouTuber anum aya Nhyira TV na fe wanya so ni bi ahwe na still on Dean Hoysen abante na kaza akra se yankamo bianta se ono adia aboa ni ye pa se tamo so no ne papa aya no watwe aya camera edia sinu so no wa video na wo munya pon game se pe ana so ye ni training ni wi a na ne papa sa se wa anye ni se wase kwabena sa ne mani nyina na aboa no ama ne football ne so gina manju de tro ho na wo sa ball no ni mbo ni nyina na bazo bode ni nyina ekọ edia ma kwan ya wo so ne papa enso fa so ema no enso ye ni training na ne ye nkoba kakwa so a abranta na di tuta awo dwumade so na no pe no make a check kakwa edia ma so yanko anim kakwa na fe yamfa update ni bi mradia mamen kwa branta ya friend Anthony so na Anthony din koma kakwa dia ba won say we mandate reporter men say eka anu aye Betis kwa rather reporter men say ka say Betis player no yes kwa bra ada MSA transfer window ni ba be close no yes buy and for contract abranta no eka cha abranta so on pese wo mo sign no na ko besia kan edi team man din edi Bayern Munich ma o meka tan say oni salary na wo kwa kwaji no ri Betis kwa no won bebo hu premier num enso edi ama no yasa brante ne hwesika ni din ana yaso okacha Bayern for say nyamia nim ne se okacha obejo musika na sabe wadado musika de anka ye pabeda wakacha wi Betis for say obesan edi ama mti ekoba se wayo omusa na cha se woni omo enso endi ne ye enti reporter men se ka se Anthony enso etani Bayern Munich dawa ono so anya nkwanti ene reporter eba ewo dumadi so na mamenko Everton na meni nkoma kakra na David Moyes akasa David Moyes amanfo se Jagrelis asa na impo na Jagrelis eba no na ono ankasa dewa no si hu Jagrelis no na abante de bedu akwabra wose pon no obo no dewa no na adwene si ya no ade na aburu so wose akwa no nsan bo no onim ni boye pa enti ebia na eyewa adwene se Jagrelis no eniema nyina asande ama na wose dabi abante no bo no onim ni boye pa enti odwan no hu saniema kama adima katina no so enkomo akakwena na basoda force akoma adwuma bako hu hiom ye pa eso mo ye na mekoko bi sa mo so ye pa Frankie Dijon contract sense no eno na sisia ya we the transfer window de no nkomo anom ba bedi na from ahwe ani abante na tima wiwe na tasania manyina tima kama adima katina no ye reporter Philip Akate adi ebana the legend the former player Daniel Storage adi nkomo kakra dia ba na Daniel Storage say kwabna se wa maniska so nkwa German so no nkobo to striker na okona Joao Pedro ha on sign no da ene wo ma no sika se impredu onkoto player obato Joao Pedro ednaba because player and tell so ye player yi kwabna bo no enye Benjamin Sesko de ni bio wo de man o de beto atrem ni ti adwuma ni nan adwuma ni to adwuma ene ma me ne be se ne hepese kwabna ne hepese nyino tibi di shego e ma ni yi na Manchester die yase yi head target kura keke na ne nan po de nyi na head target keke abrante tibi nya binti Daniel Storage say one day player back wa wo fi say oye striker a maniska so onkoto ne fam no beto atoni biem abrante de din adi Joao Pedro na very good say Chelsea enya abrante no entim ane yenkoba kakwa so a eba oduma de so anjo maweska ane e be say Chaloba wo play answer no so say Chaloba yi obaye wabo Chelsea o say ne obi mu baby a Chelsea wo na bia obi bo Chelsea abaso bode nyamo ba na bia mudi bi anso de ama traf sa na okwa Chelsea o mo fra no o say travel Chaloba in fact obaye no wabo Chelsea ye papa ene enkanka Chelsea against PSG FIFA Club World Cup no abrante no ball no boy no na enye ise kwa ento office ni team ni de niam no anso ekwe ana trouble anso eba na bo Chelsea ye pa na ano na yenya abotena yakobi sa Chaloba nkasa se ohu ni ball bo no se ano so player pa de hia ya so obenya rhythm na fenso consistency ni baba na wato so ya adwuma na se eno ana ema player ye player what say Chelsea team no ato so se no mu keep clean sheet and the Chelsea back when me pa amata so ma winning more matches eno yan kobaka kwasa travel Chaloba at the airport I would dwumade so me party jersey number 25 ana branch de Gigi Donnarumma akwaso Manchester City bobo kono and the new City goalkeeper no ni jersey number wokwa yusu nie na anu ada ana Alexander Isak me pato ni agent openya ni tin edi aya Vlado aya Lemek edi nkoma kakwa edi eba and central for quarter one corner and ye bisa sa na no da monkrofo asi wo munim dia abrante ne kan wasam se ana yi trust ni ade na promise ni ade ana so twa no pano ade a ehia pa ese nipa ubehu dia opɛ ani dia opɛ kwa no se asa nipa hu dia opɛ ani nia ompa ade nyina ekoye ade ba na abrante na tusu dia opɛ edwe problem bia ni ete enya fi na obema jamsi dia bia 100 dia obaka no enti anu ada ani Alexander Isak me pato ni agent dia ba ewo edumadi so wo sa me ya sorry na si dia ba ma enyo bia Manchester sorry Manchester no say yes Onana mbeto no na Rahim Sterling kwa yenya atofo na Onana mu bebre pop say Manchester was so much take for no any Saudi na Onana bing edi ama Andrew Onana say Jamania goalkeeper enti mo goalkeeper ya manya ni Manchester United say Europe no ma closer Saudi de ehwaye dem ana Africa so ehwaye dem ti omo to ma na ne tene ya di obi aba omo pupu omo tikra Andrew Onana o meja ne kwan amata say Onana nso atimi akọ eno eye de fi na kate edi eba na Manchester goalkeeper na wo mo san na branch de Sani Lamens na wa bana koda no say Aston Villa for ne Royal Top for kra ewie yo ama mo ka Royal Top say sika na mu twa ne 18.1 no wo be twa the same thing ama ta say wo mo anso say abrante no ama mo ne Royal Top for ekwa rechi agreement sata na mo agreement ni nyama gwabra yeso mo rechi na ya fra akoda na akra on the Manchester United no be nam say hey kate 15 vo ana beto so aso anya hwekwa Champions League obebo ani ade last year say bon krofo boy pa Europe krofo na Manchester there anso akoda minim so obi na ehu aduagu na ni so o se so na Manchester no obebo oye ye be hedi be kwagozi e enom anso akoda ne de no na yazi Atlanta for sa gaga yo ademola no mu hia no papa sa ye ni ankanim se wo mo Champions League squad an ko mo fa ne nka ho ade jam di na yazi to deadline no ana buy for ba say okay say interfor na mo mpa ma sema say we no na mo say aja caveat na da ho no e be for the foreign club yeah foreign club nti yaba e bo ni munje na munja ademu fama yes you know offer the baby ya yazi nkofo na miemo ma miele tani mo anom ka te buy for so mo pese wo me wusika kro ma de wala lu kwamo no anya de so mo ton na ton cha na wo bi okwa ko Champions League wonom na ma ton player fama no ne ukosi a what na samba be he no entanya de so de ni player ebe mantipato ademola lukman no enkofo sa gaga no mo yeso na obenya siakan e di amatalanta boboko no enkoba kakra na Fami Lopez and not that central front so kwete de one corner and e bisa say Pablo Gavi no akwa no akwajo Ghana say nim say wadan for pan na for mienu so de won say problem ambam na mon kasa anya sikasem a ebe ye masem ana chese mema de he eno e bia o makoye du bi na ba ko atwedi ana say bia we yi bi na obi ye si eche na edi problem baba ana so e central for ne ye di kokosa papa wazo anya banto mu ni problem bia issue bia ni omuntem wona banto ne ye fine pa nti rumors no so de kwan ya mafa so mu ye players di he ene ono wade tum empo mu so ahoda ente baba na mo meba mu so no mu ntuma so mu enya de se no kro bia onya brante no ye fine pa ne ye bisa se no kwampo de enya yasem ye Chelsea for ne ye kase ye misa se de enti ne wa ma Chelsea no anos Chelsea ne de enya so offer by a pabet Barcelona na nka so ofiri Barca ne ye pa wo pe Barca sem enti ne be ye din pa se wo be firi Barcelona o se ne time wo so nyina ye Barca ne woni team Barca and the woni team na one opportunity afre no be firi Barcelona na enti no kwa pa ne so first ne de bebre bai Chelsea de no nukra wom na mom no de o make ni decision so person atena Barcelona se ne contract na ye to 2029 what is sign the contract no person wi ni nyina wo Barcelona ansa no be ko ba bia akọ kwabroboa di oni ba na maso check ayi ya kan say Karim Benzema wa ma me interview say Madrid the best team in the world ade ate no ko Saudi Fami Lopez menene nya adwene na Barcelona for na yesesa akwanda mo ayala high press no Saturday na no da Volcano for omo ya out ho ya see the same thing and the Chelsea for no and so ebe tibato Barcelona for no highline no yes in Crawford omo timita sa highline na kwan dem pa aye omo koye Volcano no yes omo hu sa Barca highline nye enti ano so enkoma kakwa ja eba and na no pay yakate ediama be kwabna yakase true friend when the true friend Abrante ne de Ruben Neves answer since Diogo Jota free mu nyina no a day before after say Abrante ne be free mu no game Saturday na ade ni see na Saturday no ade betina na teso game bo kwabno obo game wi na team oko ayo Portugal akọ he match say Abrante no tamo mudi ni fi Spain akọ do mo ko na Ruben Neves ho obo game wie ya no ko ye o mu fidi wa Liverpool anso yo ma na Ruben Neves esen twa mu kwabna wasi Adam Vopa do nya Adam Vopa no atese ampa Adam Vopa yenti ene tattoo asisia no uko antenta no so a etwene Diogo Jota ade se ni tattoo ana Abrante ne aye de ato ne na ho anti mu amadwane ye Facebook na no abrante de din de Ruby Nervous enti ama for fi say abrante no me say we na ye fe no eye ayonkopa na so yonkopa enti ade ete no na say eno a Chelsea new boys no so mu training yo Alejandro Garnacho ana fe Facundo kwabna enkorefo no training kama Chelsea buna not training ni bibia timi say bibia ye kama ade ma Chelsea boboko no enti Facundo buna not na fe Alejandro Garnacho ana muhu omo enso we screen so no Chelsea fans bibia ye okay enso ade mo nchebusia yemfa nkrofa man so nsem no emfa ensi hanum say ayo your number one akan radio station dia sentiment nyina ati ade atumi on YouTube Nhyira TV na fe wonso atimi anya so ni bia kwam na bibia ni wade a ene ma memfa enso ensi anim say
twen kakra bia ansa na wako first of all Femi Lopez no nimi nyansa papa
okay Martin Komonase
so far players on bobo there
office
say wa chese ni nyansa o de bobo na osoro IQ no
nemom
odwini yie
last
free Barcelona me bo Chelsea
nemom goalkeeper bi ono no so opeti ma
no de me mas
team of Champions League
wa chese o nimi nyansa pa ye fit
okay
Barcelona me bo Chelsea number 1
Bato Komonase okay
number 2 ni say Nhyira FM ye de dwumadie bi ba na dwumadie no emu be de say me ka the maiden edition na nya easy kra na we ni de
na
be chen ba ko no
the maiden edition na me say da okay
abobofo na je
eda we ma so ne ye no
yeah
that way man so dey no that way man so dey no
ba we need ye nya
no ye no ba man dey na we na
okay new studio na ready tiefo you say new studio ni dey nyasem kitwa
TV setup no
TV setup nyasem
okay
say o studio bi a ekoya adwuma ho a che BBC so
e dey ayen dey am say
ye nya fa Nhyira FM community soccer quiz no baso 2025 na in fact a full package bibia wom obesre ebesa keep you air suspense so afi nsu sika wom sika unim say afi community obewini soccer quiz no obenya 10,000 Ghana cedis
okay 100 million
can you sika dada no
okay
100 million uwini ye hona ne ama check no ko yutika
okay
ebesa chaw ne ama bibiri na de tie nie on say football season no on ya shase
okay
EPL the Ghana Premier League La Liga German Bundesliga ni Italian SCA ni na team for the tennis on say ni na egusu a ekoso na enu na questions re baba how and na onim sa leagues no so ho enu na questions ni na e be free the abenti communities no momwa mo so ho because afi sika na da so no ano edin papa say na be am so no binya sika no enso edinti 10,000 Ghana cedis and a winner no ninsa enso ebetimi akanti open kyeremu bia e media ma wa me patch of friend number wait 6 here communities no eni mo am pesa mo sponsor dwumadi no 0245 59 4425 0245 0245 59 4425 na money number no eni komo no ento asosisi me patch no rush energy drink tia ginseng wom caffeine wom vitamins wom ebeboa ama won so no wanya hoden sonko a wode bayi wadwuma ama bibia ayeyi enso ediamanti rush energy drink no okoba bia ye ton a drinker osema rush energy drink na menso mintimi enom Dr. Foko Herbal Clinic patching number 1 ene eye day 3 of 5 days no de to ho say onon so eye health program edi ama ayayarefo nyina wutie na kontamu a the first 20 people no full package and am so betimi anya 300 series ya be health style bi ama ohunso no etimi ato ye yade bebre hepatitis B hypertension diabetes fibroid me patcho sisi sciatica me patcho ni na Dr. Foko ebe hwew ama ohunso no etimi ato yade de so di we pass happy debi ubejan ho it's patcho for number CCA na oyare anso ko na yade ya pa 0550 023419 na money Dr. Foko eni nkomo se obe ha obewuro bia dem ma efe nti wa de he say you see 21st century no be SCC ni demi na nkwa agency ewure obi ewura dem a akwa yi ade he said dem sro dem sisi nyesika bia kakra bi ekuta bia udi wura Alaska Star Enterprise the next time I be wura dem ahwe onkasa ye wa because ho no eniam no efe na bo no so da fom obi atimi to ade ho so pe blanketing open wallpaper at the design of them eco panel modern TV stands sofa cover nom open a plastic a wardrobe in fact be the say them dear they say okwa Alaska one they say one here ground you beto so open bedsheet oh nindina ebi enso awo ha onsa ebetimi enso akabi kumase ye wadum Mrs. Anoche Plaza adani mu abrosanim fair for your ho enkan and our be circle tiptoe lane na onsa etimi aka Alaska Star Enterprise siesie wo dem ma wo dem nya fe na obi awura ma wo so ye guy 0256330075 okodum sisi a wo mo abie dia tumko na onso koto niema ne bi efri omo ensem kanfo se ba mesha aya bibidro kan ame kanfo ade ama se tobi na yade bi ti se diabetes ubipi Samsona ota complaining pains so who live our brabo no problem our home edra nyuma tikete so sa infections na hawa can for say ba misha and American for and so ede amawo ene anopay edre eyentino okofre demens colinac Gilligold Pharmaceuticals our santase me pacho kwa ebi enso obo zal 245 455 740 na waje doni bi anom kama pa tap send app me pacho broche fa mutie show ina no pay munina obi an download the app no ewo mo phone no eso na sika bia o de ba fi no use tap send promo code ono so no obo Nhyira FM eshema yente o kaprekra enso emfa enfrimti country bia o abrochi na wutie show yi download the tap send na sika bia o de ba fi no boy su eno e de ascend 3p garlic mixture we aya bibidru aye de garlic ana aye na atiefo the attendant say asanso and the natural plant juice and have a full of air vitamins and minerals ebeboa esa ya de na repair aye the damages I woni peduani mindina and so etimi e the amount utie mi a me pacho bia na odi bi stroke aye no modina china monkoto aye 3p emanonom asmen waye bia enko odunso a otai etise eya obi enso awo eya odunso na chi ndina no okotobi no anom oba okọ afichire no ayase eya we a me kanfo eya 3p garlic mixture ena edi amaw ena no pese eno so betu abo akoda ni heba misi colidac edro ni bi awo ho me pacho openchire mu bi eche we a 0248928824 na wajo de kama pa me pacho peso remi into mining na me pacho se usuan wade so ha and into the tie I'm stuck mining and engineering training school say what the abosomo miensa de ato wo kire practicals and then theory na so onso no wabene pa down track forklift excavator bulldozer roller nindina 3 months no wawie say benefit ni bi and say so we free chichiri and oba oboase abesua bia me pacho hostel na abeda no e free forklift training no e free sanso and equipment ade be training no and so da no free enti bra besua bi na se de ne no mining de unya wuramu a sika wumpa oboase zongo ye wo aye high sense building na chi ono mo pe ho na msabetimi aka aye IMSOC mining and engineering training school 0539 732 766 na monso mone omo eni komo no ento so mfa emfiri o kama pa me pacho ma yenkoto aye umat perfume mosquito coil na de tie ne coil no bebre ene wodwa so nanso de papa no aye umat de no esan se esham so ene kum tum pa enti malaria ye ebi nyawo da o sonso smoke ne fra no kitikiti enti obi won ma se call ne bi wa auto a smoke ne fra no ne ba no enwusie no edoso esa de be chubu nse we nya koda ne kata na ese wan nem kura na nkenya wa so mesrew we die epam tontom ema malaria enyaw ena emademu yeham ena afensu no ema kata bia enti mesrew o mat perfume mosquito coil ɛwɔ ɛyɛ dwa so mo a mo pɛ dodo atu no makoton no monko wo Kumasi abɛkɔ adum Family Plaza hɔ na enkranfo depo no ɛwɔ Ashoman tachimanfo nso no mo nso mo krom mo nyina mo nkɔtemo de kama pa 0557 484083 na monso monjemo de kama pa o phone papa akuta ewo kurum ha de a ene me kamfo eye na P phones and accessories and ade amawo ye phones de di kan eye original we nye fake nye mitani bia ene number 1 number 2 and say ye phones no ne bo for pa so de compare your competitors which means ye de da form kulam so per Samsung Nokia Tecno Infinix Itel case tablet so and the enkodai omudi sunsua de ni nyina no original ones no na P phones and accessories akofa adiaba na oba na usika no so a de fa Ghana card patrotie enko duru anza no aha wo do wo kwa wo fifi na fa Ghana card no ekɔ so Richard say memra na mone menya nhyehyɛ na mtua no kakra ene ye one no ebia wo ye company obo so to phones ede cha workers eno so ba ye bete so no atimi ato bibre ye promotion ebi eye branded t-shirt oto ade ane a cha branded t-shirt sikabotin 5,000 Ghana cedis and many more ni nyina no eye ade a ye che ewo na P phones Kumasi adum asida house wo sansoro biba JK building nim ewo Prudential Bank hona edna nana kwesi agema building nim anso no eye ade a ye wo ho me pa cho de for number yi na ekoto phone sisi 0533093422 na onso watimi agye wo de kama pa ene anope a omo aso yasene ye di dwumadi no e de ebramoma memfa we mfantwato last one na yen started discussions no emamo awo show no so ye kojo Recon Royal Enterprise na omo ene de Recon eye Heba Misha Recon Heba Misha ade aba eye dwaso me pacho adura me kan wasemi enyasem keto kra edu papa bia wonuma timi sampa se yade pa de ni nyina na etu ase enso etimi edi ama enunti ena yenru no okọ Promise Media Fedimens Sac Pharmacy ene eye Joso Government Hospital na honso okwa ayade yenru no ebi enso hontino aya announce no wetimi atobi na bibia no aye kama edi ama wo obetimi afreso Recon na adreun setimi akabi 0244470067 anopai omo ene afufro pi eka ho ena omo aso yasena time no de abahen 10:43 yen start discussions no emfa emamo awo aye dwumadie no so join live awo Nhyira TV awo YouTube Nhyira TV na yemfa dwumadie no enhyehyɛ so emfa emam Fifi Manfred Ovi, good morning. Patron, I want to say, Adi, no, who's that? Maybe. Okay. I'm saying, no. Okay. Oh, yeah, fire. Yeah, thank you very much. Besmak Osubem Payala. Good morning. I want to say,
Oh, Nyamiadom,
okay. And there you two interesting topics at the table so. But me say I best start with transfers here Ewie and Ray. You start with clubs and obia business or yay. So far, club be pa number say the business or yeah and we say yes, you can say club yeah business or transfer more. Sa club no pa and reasons na odi account best man ko so be pa yala me sha sem fefi ho with the just ended transfers and you know club ben pa na was scan it through a who say there be club with the business on me here no na solid.
First of all, transfers here no indicators no eye enoman kitin bi sika utua sika unya, but the ultimate enisuade huna ebema waye transfer eye o fixe utim You need to fix your team.
If there are problems.
Yes. Enti me kwaba me yese mato we mama we koma ye we nyina no. Dia wo ye ni nyina no e ka boa say you fix your team. Na se team ni da ho a upon all the spending no be say oh team no look solid. Now Rich say sana etie dia. I think so for me the best club why a solid Arsenal. Yes. They've done solid transfer this summer. Sisi Arsenal team ne down. Rich, open for the department by department. They don't seem to have weakness.
Wọ́n solve a problem biya.
Odo pa yem koni kakra.
Goalkeepers too.
Semwo Raya. Na Michelle last season Goa Kepa Edama Bournemouth. I am a deputy. Rich, you can't tell me I have a problem with goalkeeping. Samuel Ben White and Julian Timber. I am a right backer. You can't tell me I have a problem. Samuel Lewis Kelly and Calafiori. I am a left hand. I don't have a problem. Samuel Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Masquera. Namisadi Piero and Campi Asabe Kahun. Rich. Me a covered. Sauban Fifi wa Melusu Thomas Partey, Melusu Jorginho. But me de Norgard aba, me de Zubimendi aba. I me DM ho. Rich, that is solid. Already me will Declan Rice money, Martin Odegaard money ade.
You can't marry no money now.
Yes, but even with them now last season more than my boy any youth players bia me ma more opportunity mo boy ntino and this same summer transfer window my extending the contract of Lewis Kelly. I'm on a long-term contract. Matumada on the side. My extending the contract of Nwaneri. I'm a genius obeti me my quality football. I want him in the next 5-6 years. And also we team him. Now beyond these two youngsters, Rich. Meaning say in the last 2-3 years, there've been a lot of pressure on Bukayo Saka. About games be bredo. And see ama was starting nyasam a prebia which we say a fatigue brand o prano. And see me demand wake aba already in one area no to me be ball say oniwa. But me did now my bridge gap between Ononi one area which obi also relatively ever experience in Madweke me did not bashaw. Baby Martinelli bono. Na mitimi mo Martinelli wo. Se Gabriel Jesus se feta mitimi bono wo. In the games I want to even play obi say Leandro Trossard from that position mitimi bono wo. Rich. Masako chinchim me not landing rivals in sa. I'm a transfer of my name so my year crown. Mako chinchim mo sa de Eberechi Eze. One of the finest talents in the Premier League as a basa position obi. He can play and compete with Martinelli mu our top 4. Obeti so as a Benfica. Any Odegaard must have a pen number 10 position or. Then me will Havertz, me will Gabriel Jesus, me will Leandro Trossard. But still now, my greatest criticism and say I still need to find a finisher as a center forward. Na minjai ka Havertz mo bono. Me see no problem. In the last 3 seasons. Uko Europa, one of the most consistent strikers Victor Gyökeres. Makoye, whatever it take to bring him to Arsenal. Rich, now with that Arsenal team, tell me where the weakness is.
Solid team.
Team that's a shame. And in some way, can see the stereotype I won't go for team so Arsenal a dapper for. And yet just the quality of the players, the squad in depth in the Magic Trophy. It is because of history in here. But Rich, beyond that stereotype, no, the name say Arsenal, you know, the reality of the transfer that they've done and how I'm with him, no, as a share in CCA. And as someone making, you can't debate it. These are pure facts. The players are there. Individual positions in or either 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. No, ubet match share and get any backup crown bar. You could see a solid team from a team of Arsenal, and that is what they've spent their monies on.
But there's this a year man for Kase. Look, Patifia or free Arsenal team. No, do my replacing it, but still now who say the absence, you know. Arsenal.
You see,
Omuhia Obia, Otimi control the tempo of the game.
You see, Rich, it will
a typical example against Liverpool.
It will take time. And Sana and confirms that say Omo appreciate Zubimendi in the same level as Partey. It will take time. So I understand.
Okay.
No crack. In the last 2-3 seasons, any good thing about Arsenal has involved Partey. No doubt about that. And Truba could create anyone. And you see a Ghana 14 acre. What Partey Edema Arsenal team no? It was so evident with the eyeballs which Arsenal games are. So you could clearly see this is a team that is very, very stabilized under this coach. And they are playing according to Mopati said on Besomobono. But Rich, I don't think say Zubimendi will be far off to step into Sassu's no.
Okay.
Now, say Mireti Arsenal as the best. I need to compare it with BB before I can say after my analysis in SCP.
Now do you know that mean Kokofio?
Rich, this transfer window may assure say the leader in discussion is Liverpool. Because Omo must spend the bar. Omo must breaking records upon records. Every place are boarding Abba Omo team. Now, the moment I will sign Liverpool, I can say Arsenal, and I hear the best transfers, you know. Then you need to give us the basis of saying sad, you know. Rich, me getum Liverpool the quality. I can an already existing quality team. There is no way about Makachem say Ugo Eketiki and your quality. He is quality. Alexander Isak is quality. Foreign Vets is quality. Jerome Frimpong, Jeremy Frimpong, quality. Leone, quality. Players now Liverpool do my band Milos Kekic, quality. But you see, the Amami ranking Arsenal ahead of Liverpool. ASA. Rich, even with those quality additions, you know, I still think say oh yeah, critical analysis department by department. Send your Arsenal now, you will still find some loopholes in the Liverpool team, especially Sadina a 2 almost with Maguire. You know, Rich, Sanka Liverpool the Maguire buyer, and we will say, oh, say almost so Allison. Oh, Mama that's really goalkeeping only problem.
Sure.
Omo Conor Bradley and Omo Frimpong right back only problem. Omo Andy Robertson and Omo Milos Kekic left back only problem. But Rich, Omanya Maguire. Now, Sawasha, in terms of convention and standard, say Uyi Van Dijk, na Uyi Konata. The next EDM team will be the youngster Leone, who Omonene buy for the future. Leone, one of the reasons why Chiesa had to stay at Liverpool, because they needed an Italian to make sure that Branton will feel comfortable. And from Van Dijk to Konate, they wanted to bring in Maguire, say that he will compete with Van Dijk and Konate, and then there will be competition. Already, there's a situation where Konate or Paris Saint-Germain or Real Madrid. And see, Sankomode Maguire buyer, Konate Pewompo, he has to be serious. And yes, Maguire betuno. Then Leone will learn from them. Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, be no about Bobby any other. But Rich, without Omanyamago, no. The gap between Van Dijk and Konate, any baby Leoni Befiaban. I still think there's one name that is lacking on that list. Then you move to midfield, and you're offensive wise, no. But the defensive midfield, who gives Liverpool plan B? Who gives them say omu game na omu gidi say enough of the flair? You do baby a ye pe obi o ye combat kakra. Sane Arsenal can change from Zubimendi to Norgard. And Norgard will give them a plan B of a combative defensive midfielder. Liverpool there. Until when Liverpool both games be
McAllister to me.
Rich. McAllister there. Already crown on your DM Mporo Saba be combative.
Okay.
Until a hono sa dynamism. Say me team no me pese me sesa me ho eko sene pese me sesa me ho ko bia me wo players o metima baba yes adwuma na ma me no. Look, who you Gavin Mecha? Who will you bring? Endo Wataru. He's soft. Very, very soft. Any more dear Liverpool bebu bia. Any more dear with Iketike, Gakpo, Salah. Omabu bia. But which two departments na. I want to lock in the
be probably January beba.
But say na ask me again January.
No problem.
It's anuna me susu say. Even though Liverpool na expend a panel.
Arsenal,
I think overall, no, Rich Arsenal as a shell with team now. Me want to grow Arsenal team and then me rate Arsenal ahead of Liverpool.
Kofi,
Rich.
Man, a good businessman.
Rich, the transfer in Komono because football a result oriented adeno. And most of the times we want to focus on ball, no park, no there some.
Sales in Kahon.
But in my opinion, before I'll be able to choose who won the transfer market, I should be able to merge the business side plus the footballing side. And it's me person me train say, won't me enter players na Liverpool aton, but it doesn't make financial sense. But ABR Oshel Park and say that okay, that is the best business that anybody have done in it. In fact, Oko transfer.com, transfer marketer, and everybody knows that transfer market is essentially the best place for anything transfer conversation. Almost Oko English Premier League this year, 4 clubs and they were a scored value of 1 billion and over.
Clubbing.
Arsenal club no it was scored value of 1 billion and over. Liverpool it was scored value of 1 billion and over. Manchester City it was scored value of 1 billion and over. And at Chelsea, it was scored value of 1 billion and over. So that goes to reaffirm the importance of business in the conversation of even before Yebedu Parkness. Rich. So let us tackle the business parts before we get onto the field of play and see how the various players are different clubs that they buy solves the problem. There is a graphic of the spending this summer as compared to the net spend, and Martinez didn't come about net spend be essentially saying say niawobeto versus niawotonye, and in the net spend in a particular year on a particular summer it can include wages, it can include even fuel our teams neto, but in the context of just transfers to you focus on players awotonye, any players awotonye, which on the list of teams are omotonye pa those that spent. Everybody knows Liverpool have won the market in that regard. Those that went onto the market and bought this summer, Liverpool are right there. Then, of course, Arsenal have done very good business in terms of what they sold and what has come in. But in terms of net spend, team and the net spend, I was sure per Arsenal £257. So although Arsenal have bought, they've not sold a lot. Yeah, Partey went away for nothing. Zinchenko, yes, they'll get something small for it. But Liverpool have made good sales. Omaton, Jaro Kwansayako, they've taken good money from it. Trent Alexander-Arnold was not a big sale, but they got something small from it. Omoton, goalkeeper,
Calvin Callagher also went from the club. They got good money from it. So they made sales. And these are clubs are in fact, the best club in terms of net spend is Chelsea. Because I don't know, all those say what ton, and they've made record fee in terms of Sika 300 million. So in the business area, you look at the top three as Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea in that regard. Then it goes onto the field of play. Why not players now takes them from where they were yesterday to a different level this season? Which, you see, when you look at the context of Arsenal, Omanya Adebia today, maybe no team in the English Premier League has it. That is the ability to be tactically probably more dynamic than we are. Arsenal beats him back 3, or beats him 4-2-3-1, or beats him 4-3-3, or beats him 4-2-2. So the extent and the quality of players at Arsenal for Ndiabano. Ama Mikel Arteta the flexibility to be able to play in different style of plays. Plus there is quality across board. Look at the last time, Midi Mosquera on Como. Me did the 2 center backs at Arsenal on Como. William Saliba 2 seasons ago was always getting injured. Debiana, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and we constantly said that is why at some point in time Arsenal in Team League. But Mosquera comes in as a good cover for the 2.
And Obano.
In the game against Liverpool, he was not bad.
Solid.
Good player.
The first game, but
good player. So then you go into the middle of the park and look at Martin Ibanez, Zubimendi, Christian Ogada's experience in the Premier League, and of course also in the attack. But Rich, I don't think that if you merge what the business Liverpool have done and how strategically Arsenal are close to him even on the field of play. Rich, today, Liverpool and the English Premier League have 2 of last season's top and second best attackers. Granted.
In Salah and then Isak.
Yes, granted. Only need a defensive cover or the midfield legs that Norgard will give them. That maybe Declan Rice will give them. Because Yaja to me say, Rand Gravenberch essentially and you're out and out number 6. But even with that last season, we saw the good work she gave them. And even in the game against Liverpool, in terms of ground covering, the quality of play, everything, you could see the quality of a branch friend Rand Gravenberch. But it's up top. If you score Liverpool 3, bet match 4. Osane 3, bet match 2. Then that is where he uses the brilliance of Obi to say Domenico Szoboszlai. And you see, may I have held the argument of Liverpool for have a problem at Rand Gravenberch and even at Abrantia Feno, Flan Viet as a 10. In the modern day number 10, you don't just play with a creative ball, Nikita or 9F, technical ability, dribbling, that is not all the modern day number 10 should do. The modern day number 10 is supposed to be intense, to win the ball back, to be aggressive and lead a counter press. And I don't see that in a branch of friend Flan yet. But in all of that, Rich, with the work that Liverpool have done, when Trent Alexander-Arnold went away, Liverpool were worried because he's not the best defender in the team. Liverpool have not needed Trent Alexander-Arnold to be a good defender. They've constantly had defenders that are good in defending wide areas. The best thing Liverpool did, in conjunction with, even though Omanya Brentford Magay was keeping Joe Gomez. Because if Joe Gomez had left the club, then that means that they were probably very thin and would defense on. But they've kept Joe Gomez. They've brought in Leone as part of the team. Yes, or you're young, or you're too good. But this is a team that have the traits to defend in wide areas. And with the last 10 years, Domenico Szoboszlai wants him. But about right back in 2 games, have you had any problem? No. Obetima Boba's number 6 when you need him to play. If he does that job in terms of ground winning duels, physicality, at right back, then in his own area at number 8 or 10, Domenico Szoboszlai will do that job easy peasy. Plus, when Hugo Ekitike came and joined the team, he has hit the ground running. Does it look like the boy that Abraham didn't come from Frankfurt? Now, Kofi Nyan to Boisier, ne Premier League once a year.
Surprise me.
He's playing. He is playing very, very well. And Rich, you see, near Emami, Liverpool have won the transfer market. Is that tactically? I told you about how Arsenal's transfer packs have given their coach the ability to play in different styles. Look at Anna Slot. Anna Slot has started the season. And almost said that you're too flamboyant. But in games where they have to outscore, they outscore you. Anna Slot can decide to play 4-4-2 flat. Ishak Ekitike up top. And then Mohamed Salah can leave the club. And that was a major problem that Liverpool had to address. Not even in the summer. Even for future where Mohamed Salah leaves the team, you know, which they have to make sure say at least when Mohamed Salah goes and then augments the goals. So for me, on the field of play, Liverpool are quality. Okay. Plus, when it comes to near almost year in terms of the business rights, which we don't talk about how strategic Liverpool have been.
Now,
it's been almost 10 years. Liverpool started our plan, and this is the team that won the English Premier League this season. The bigger conquest for them will be the possibility of winning the Champions League. And in winning the Champions League, you need to be more dynamic. You need to beat some of the big boys. And which Champions League, no, other teams bebre and can do more. Obia BM Bobby. So BM na Liverpool BM, they can get a job done for you. In a game against Arsenal at Anfield, a game that was supposed to title decide. I mean, not at the tail end, but at the beginning, front foot. No, we had the dominance to start the league process. No, they went in there. First half, they struggled. Nhyira and Gravenberch after the game. Also in the first half, were struggling to press Arsenal. But when they went into the changing room, Anna Slot changed something, which the quality of the managers also affects the players that are on the field of play. And I think that Anna Slot has shown, say, or you're more dynamic, or you're better in terms of changing in-game game management and then fielding a team that can get the results for them. Me, from where I sit today, I think the Liverpool have won the transfer window. Okay. Arsenal closely follow. Arsenal transfer window any bad. They are also in the A level. Then the rest of the clubs come as it stands now. You see, you better at the end of the day, who really transfer window? It comes down to the other way.
The end justified.
Yeah, it comes down to the because Barca literally did not spend anything. Barca they will be in a situation. Say American, but Ukoko do us or Momo Chowa. Never who see can was said and
yes, I'm doing.
Oh, so one to be.
I did.
Mutu players be.
Your team is okay.
Sa. Nela muti mu ya fullback. I am mu ya fullback. Mu ya right back.
You see,
mu ya left back.
Ya right back. Until Eric Garcia said, "Obetimi aboho." We don't need to bring anybody.
The more Alejandro Bade mu man will be proud of Boha.
What are
Gerard Martin.
Are they say I'm fast saying?
No, that's what we need. Gerard Martin.
And you manage you. The guy played in games. Big games and he played
against Inter Milan. In a bigger game, he didn't show up.
Oh, against Inter Milan, one and I cross the cinema system.
But Alejandro Bade Jerema,
I be a born and I'm petting defender. We are okay.
Highline.
Okay, Basafon.
We are
your match here, Benny. Oh, date
November 25th.
Okay, I'll date you.
That's about. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
for commercial purposes.
Highline.
Date you want to now, only say this weekend. Tamani at the studio, Hannah, Mekato say, a full amash affairs go. Me studio, me sorry, I'm cool. Your office, one, Gabi Air show. One of the computers, you know, na me share go na full am share, you know. Me share go na na say but this is the Chelsea team. I was say Okushaba so no boy highlight. Go no me share even though it was disallowed. Baby a pass in the fire. And did you see where the Chelsea defense never?
I say highlight to highlight.
Okay.
See, it was gradually the narrative will change. But now, sometimes, yeah, to the beer, you see, Mammy can see just 1-2 seconds. Yeah, the say a highlight. Who could cry highlight?
Money and body.
Moment team. Yeah, the police and German, yet to die. It's your show, man. You bet me a highlight no more.
What true shit?
One year.
Because of time in Tino, now can per se share. They say, Sadiana, Eba in football player, person, qua. Ubun's clubs, no, I am reluctant to release them. Emma uncle, Nadia Ben, Diabenis, and your coffer. at the point you won't say player on the class or boycott training, uncle training beam. So I discuss this the fun question next time. Na yenin komo kakrebi na iwia yemedi the Black Stars of Ghana nyame adoma the big game. I baso ochira. Then it say offer baby budget for the Black Stars and will be a discuss it. Minister so slash it. Yebasisi ana yabe disan komono. Etimi edi amama yene cement vita herbal mixture and capsules again and ebidi and komo draw way atifo se unyan to bia titiru so ye bema now to cement vita ni bia anyway ya catchy. Chairman, good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Now to say
nyame adom Richard ahoden wo hopa
de nyame ase agan ho ye
agan ho din say eduro na nka say din agan no e kire say ahoden
sure
nti agan ho den pa Richard
nti we
well Richard yemfa akonya we so na yenchia Ghana phone na mo hye na omuti Nhyira ene anopay na yedinchia kase free ye CEO Dr. James Amoa oda Pimson Company Limited anwa yakofa edro wonwaso a your friend Siemens Vita Herbal Mixture and then the capsules agan ede aba na obi bisa agan eye de edro agan eye tete didona eye edro na tete no ne na no ennom ede esa omo ho yade ede ema omapomuden etimi gina banane eno ntina tete na ahoden wo ho na onte yare bebre tete no behu so obi yare na wanyini achepa ansa na hu se ne honam ahyase edodo no ene ade a but nei no enam yenua ne ayedidi eye full of chemicals ne ade ni ntina ma ye ne yare de ayete se 5 and 6 no but agan ye dru a eye tete dudu na ne nananom ede som ho yare na etimi ma mo gina banane na Real Crampo intime memo eno ne adura Pimson Company Limited edi aba inti ene ni yese ope with general well-being dia eno ane agan and I'm say Richard ene yi no okọ so mutuntun no na nipa o mato sante no mutonro no kese ne yempanyimfo and I'm say empanyimfo say sankofa wo yenchi na adura na tete no omonnom na ene because of modernization ya de ye piani na to ogunya kofa chemicals de aba
to dido so ano ba no bi awia wanu bi enyimre wanu wo din ya de ntimi ene ni na to ogu
so eno ena Dr. James Amoa ne doctors ene professors a omu akwadare wa bibidro mu edi asakofa sa aduru na sa de aba nti ene no onnom aganya eye titidido na wonom because onnom a u feel se edru na tete na wonom na no bi na sese wonom eboa ma bibia timi gina so ma okama na nkomodie ni na no ne kofare bai anase ne pompon so ne be gina so be fa ye number no eno hinya pa ufra ade ba ko Pimson Company Limited ho ne say doctors no any professors omo ye adru na ne omo kasa we nya communicators bi omo ye adru na nti ufra omo nya adaje ma e ma wo cheche wo haw no wo yare no ba biedi wakwakodru se de esisa ase na omo tiewu apɛ ho pomasi bread ama wa wutie ye mfa number ne sisi a number ne ye 0244 718 557 0244 718 557 and I was 0241 604 702 0241 604 702 and your friend number is here Richardo aganya dura eye titidudo na tete no na haban a Nyakopon ka se mundi duaba nam fa na hahan ne nsayare ye na nanom de omho to so anu nti eboa wo mo ema omo tena se chai bebre no eye sa hahan ya ena nei Pimson Company Limited doctors ne professors a omo nim de wa bibiduo mo aba abew no akwakofa asade aba nti enei empanyimfo na etu agu agan so omo to agan ya aduru a wonum bi na se wo nompemu haw se ebia ohunam ne tutu unompemu ba bi na ye oya se wakohwe ase se wonkohwe ase ebeyi ni na de afiri ho ama ho ato agan ya aduru a eye general well being Enti sɛ tete no ne nananom no num dudo na sɛ Richardo ɔma nyare na ɔmo ho andodo ɔmo na sɛ na time bi ɔmo wɔ ahode timi twa kwansiri bɛyɛ dumienu no aduonu ɛkɔ afuo mu ba na edu anwummerɛ nso a yɛ nana bɛrima atimi akɔyɛ na sɛdeɛ sɛ bɛrima deɛ a na ɛnɛ ne yɛte hɔ yɛ dɛ ɛno nti ne akɔfa agan asade aba sɛ agan ne aduro betimi aboa obiaa because tete no na yɛ nom dudo no na sisi yare bebree ni hɔ te sɛ nei na me honam tutume na mechiri bremo ka sɛ spinal cord issues na ni hɔ na sasabro bebree ni hɔ na rheumatism ahotutuo bebree na ni hɔ na nyarewa bebree na ni aba betu ni pesu na ni hɔ enti ene ni ese sankofa wo yenchi ene yakwakofa titidido no ne asade aba enti obi a wonom dudo bia pen bia no ni fie koro onom agan a ohunu se eye titidido na enti ma mbi koto aduro bi ofre ye no se meba mo aduro di atitidudo na difference bia enim eno ena e di aduro no enti obi a wo hwe ye utie ye na no pay akoye nnumpemu hawo ahotutuo weda yi esa awowom kakra nti amadua na dwo obi koda onna Richard obi so okwakoda age se ye de ntoma ekekere na aposo na aposo ansa watimi ada because of ahotutuo because of say weda no anu anyu kakra bomodin se won sabeka agan Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ne capsules uwia no afre doctors no ade ba akwa we yaduro no se ye ma general dosage e wa abonten oto na ofra doctor e bia me honam ne tutume doctor betro kan be fa so abenum ebritia wa bim na honam tutu ni na akọ
okay
afọ obi tie yai ne de na kwakoye de friend sciatica no intine fi oto ase ekọ wonan kokom de sciatic nerve no emu twetwew emu femfem wo ye ho hwia enye ya aduro ne ba akọpe na de enti e ka twese kokoto aduro we ni se aduro we no ye de meka se aduro a ebo nipadua ne na ahye mu ma be bibi ti se endorphins eye aduro a eyi ya wo adi fi nipadua nim into obi a wotie bi a wo yawo bi ewo ne sciatic nerves no onkonkoto agan ne bi na onfre numbers no ebia na onso meka se wo de na akwakoye sisi yare wo sisi ne mu ya wo ya edu ba bia se ne mpane bi kura na wuo ma kokoto agan ne bi to mixture ne to capsules no wo ya fre doctor mi sisi na ya me ya obi de na aye chronic atena no so ache wo ya ontimi nko bomode kokoto aduro ne bi Richard aduro we se aja baso bode afofie ba ko miensa.
Okay.
Best waist pain drug of the year, miensa. Enti aduro we say ye aduro Richard no ye de nchiato so. Aduro isisi yare yes okoto aduro we na onom na bottle ne sa na osisi na nkwa. Fa ko ba bia okoto aduro no na kokwaji usika. Enam se e basisi yare Richard aduro bia ni ho. Agan is the best when it comes to waist pains. Obi nso etie ye bema wa ye mre e wo mpem. Richard ade we say eye ade e ha adwen pa. Bema wa ye mre wo mpem. Sexual weakness or premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction. Obidie because of the sexual weakness in tea, Richard or point more into coffee intem. On one sinifie and on one high die and so because obe koino and send be brain a quakusi e because make us a be an word memnano or banner credit card testing is a numero bar. But why am I just for all ways and means untimin to the sexual weakness na say. And yes, or copy baby tsna and sana or chenya tactisa because could do now banana day no other. Because of sexual weakness, will be cried and insanum. I just got tsna sport be an abia bad. But maybe I would say and no pay why am rain. A draw solution solution no a Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture and the capsules. But money is on Sabeka Drew baby. On Saka Drew baby, a friend numbers no. Nakacha doctor, me my sexual weakness for a 10 years. You bet your quan before so within a short time. Richard, a bit me at all. Or baby and a menses Emma say be a dysmenorrhea and menorrhea Nino. But money is on Sabeka Drew nebi. Nanum ebebow. I'm a pipia kama. I'm in for number into an imbibe. Number is 0244 718 557 0244 718 557 after 0241 604 702 0241 604 702 Okoba bi eto aduro bia obenya bia to PFA Pharmacy Waterfoni Road Colinac Herbal Ewa Ashtown Freddie Mensa Herbal ewo KO Rock Pillar enso ewo KO Mam One Cry no Repass Ventures Hallows Herbal Tenatedina enso ewo Okeshi Drug Lane Enkokoya Antiakobam Mankasimi Jeff Herbal Takwayo was Bibidro Fie Ziama eye Odalo kwa onsabeka bi afi so Cape Coast eye Pena Herbal baby I told you Ghana Hebiado Boroma also pay a guy Siemens Vita Herbal Mr. Otto Wiano friend number the word no na Richardo ya boa ama onso ho timi ato yes eye tetidudo na na ye de ejuma Richardo
edamase enim say nipa dodo na no mutie ejumade bokwa kotobi usisi bema usisi yawo bebre asa edu anwuma onya ade so ha eda monso amayemre ompam no kotobi na ebetimi aboam yipa. All right, yentu ejumade no so mfama minhya 104.5 before me bedi mi nkomo no me catch am say ye ba ye bedi Black Stars enkomo na yen chance say first of all before ye bedi budget no nkomo no me catch them say team no e free kind no mo do omani atrem awo aye Jamina aho na game ye ne child ebebo no nyame adom chena 1 p.m. on a game no enso ebetimi atodwa ye kase Black Stars team ni awo ho oma touchdown kama training omo be na afa anwumre the mat time no mandatory one no so man kama na afi ochena no game na ankasa no enso etimi atodwa kama pa enso awo ho na before ye bedi game no nkomo kra no samba kaya ebra aban sesabae no His Excellency John Dramani Mama eka say Black Stars budget yem fancy ebiem ye bebo game bia team no sika ye be hia de abo ho bra no of course ye nim say efe no and the custodians of the Black Stars because team no your mind de omo ye hesofo and into whatever budget bia efe ne be ye ama ban so age atum no I say am Ghana for because sika no Ghana for sika any de bi Black Stars no and it is Excellency John Dramani Mama eka say every game be able be an sports minister and make sure say Black Stars budget our public obia sika de kwakobo game no e mo be kan brand minister ba ye bo game one for budget amamon for e kan pa ma minister be ka say at that time no hu hia say I say ye kobo game ni hia air qualification no ye be discuss e ye budget e be distracting ama anhwe ye be drum maybe no na fe ye focus no enso a shift kakra but before ye babo nyame adom china game against a child no according to the ministry I must say F no at the proposed budget of 1.2 million kakra da so and na de bro mo na sports minister so de buy no a buy enso tina so mo fa pen de to ho na no ene mebu am ya da bi we enti so kakra we nyim firi mi o mutete ni na buy no I say out of the 1.2 no say no mutete ya omu enyan yenti sports minister Yero Kofi Adams on budgeter I say F no and so the ebreno.
So ladies and gentlemen, I can take you through a few of the things. For example, Ghana versus Chad, which is the away game that will
Atiefo mon fanchame pa nanka me bo sports minister mon me play an foforo ana memfa emo enti sene bia mon so be hu se nyame na me kansem no e de ahye eye minister so ano according to minister say the proposed budget infinite brand sene me di ka chim no na around 1.2 million US dollars na o me de buy no ministry any aban na etenase ye Ghana ye conference bu no ene ma bi wodoma e ka kire efi no say we di be ye frim we nso ye bete so okay yenti minister.
I can take you through a few of the things. For example, Ghana versus Chad, which is the away game that will be played on the 4th September. The original estimates for that game was about 1,000 $1,239,090. But after we went through it and took off what we thought must be taken off, this was reduced to $856,890 US dollars, meaning that per the arrangement that His Excellency have directed us to work with, a savings of 382,200 was realized in the way. This was done through either reduction of some of the items, line items, or completely taking some of them off, because we think that we can meet them through other processes.
Okay, enti eno Nhyira Kofi Adams ebra o chichirim budget no. Enti papa na sem dina ne say $1.2 million na efi proposed budget a de buy no ne na ban so tenase enema bi wonu ma te so bi so wonu mo kra na yi di free mo future say enu ni mo kra na still na no we can play and win, and I say eno ensi akwansi betimi enso no akwakobo eye ball na so mo tete sa na yamani na awie no for 1.2 million no at the eba $856,890 na che say uhwema Ghana oti eye 856 no ekufi 1.2 no ma enya around be $382,200 oman no enso enya adeto ne ye say omonso no eye prudent na ne ma bi omu yi bi enso edifimo ne so ye ene number 1. Na number 2, you be say who per diem. Any bonuses no, and so hun some at saying, Yentie a minister, and so chichimo de mine.
Per diem for players is $150 per day. The technical officials take $200. Incidental expenses is $20,000. Bonus for players is $5,000. So if they win, because that is the position of the minister and all of us here, when they win, we'll give them $5,000. The head coach takes $10,000. The assistant coaches take $5,000. The other category of technical officials and have 4,000, and that's all. So when you add all these, you multiply it by the numbers in each level. That's where you have the $856,890 for the Ghana Chart game.
Okay, and minister, on per diem and bonuses are you my players no, and the technical team and no. Now the per diem no, say players no more to kwan so ho. A day bia or that sorry bia bi kra obi bia so to ne sa ne ma na aja koma. Your bomb every day bia no. Player bia no ebenya $150 a day. O sorry bia anu yesika e de be players no. Technical team no benya 200. Na bonus na ankasa no almost players no at the end 5,000. Head coach there 10,000. Afi assistant coaches no enzo benya 5,000. And other categories as in the technical officials no hone ubenya doctors no ne team doctors any you know omo kasa de matim ne ayiri na no in communions no other categories no so no according to the minister no also omo so ebenya $4,000 dollars. I don't know omo so betimi enyanti players about 5,000, head coach about 10,000, assistant coaches no obi abenya 5,000 and other categories technical officials no so ebenya 4,000 and na okikani ndina ebuma edien eba $856,890 dollars ye de ekobo child and so a game no. Now this is my question na Abidjan Fonso no Kofi this time shall say dey free ho. First of all, Ghana you say a Kobo World Cup and Australian group nima with these two games are here, but a very crucial. See, it means good result. Your chances of your day World Cup no, as well very very bright. Now I cover by the taban so over means gauge the mood of the people, as it gauge the mood of the country. As now the focus has shifted from the game never born to the budget. if you say in Ghana and in this sabi omanya yakobo besia ene ade na game baako ene sika mu kodini ene ade no. Do you think said the timing of your budget discussions ebe going to nyame adma ochina game no na fe any budget meeting na yenkani na mfamum
Rich, I think say in every relationship biano there is a need for openness and accountability. Of course, even regular boyfriend girlfriend relationship so when you be in Nino Cray and I say and papa any opinions in your honor and I have drink kakra. So when Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama Efra Benyano Kase for him or Jitu say for us to be able to get more love to the Black Stars na say Timemu for in near cost of Black Stars. I think that was a good thought. It came from a good place. Also, you see, sometimes I say, I want to be blunt.
And
I need to be a should be see a fragrance of fee. Now you're too blunt. What the minister did was that it was unnecessary. And unim the unnecessitation, and because of idea and then win out. But the timing of it was wrong. So it was unnecessary. And Rich unim bibi. ABRF and Mekao. Do you know that about a couple of weeks ago, the last time a Black Stars ever game, the minister was asked about this same Black Stars budget, and he told us, it is not the right time to talk about budget.
Ebi obi beka say when our cash minister.
Okay, and the minister
was. My minister bring one for budget now, man.
Okay.
Next month, the senior national team, the Black Stars.
Okay.
You know.
We.
What say Ubekaya? Akakakra mabeye na MPs na yakwa football in first game against Chad. Now feeder. Now central for the play. How much is Then Becca begin for the qualification budget of Wasem. Many are at that material time and uncle for Bisa Eka budget of Wasem. Assemble one and Bisa say a na budget ever Babua EFA qualification because said Rebecca said my mom $10 and I'm my mom $1 million. Again, as I see, no one sema yebekano, and no one sema yebeti at that material movement. Again, moi, Emma, Edibema team, you said, a big one qualification.
Okay, in terms as I'm now canini. So what changed?
Which
what explanation on what the mind?
I honestly minim, except that maybe it's an upfront to let Timem Foch who say. Like you can see a baby, we've done it regardless of the consequences.
And now, Kofi, Ebinsua, say His Excellency catch and say, yeah, but game be make sure say budgeting at the public. And the last one now, maybe at this time, President catch as a chairman, my instructor, Kono catch a Ghana for say when you could. You see, Rich. Yeah, a bit man, sir. But I also think say sports minister where Juma say as the boss president, no, which much is a boss. Baby, you dinner work on critical. It's ingenious to Basegaka. Which man who a lot of poses who says, oh, I come for and Pongo go this. You see, sir, omissions no more free budgeting. They could have done the omissions without letting the public know now. Then after the games, because budget, when you make a budget, it's a provision. As in the what project you say. It's your board games you and you can come back and say that omo budget X amount of money. Ni who say doso. To say technique me who say team doctor say mom $10,000. Yeah.
And a year film and now they give them 5,000 USD. Fine. So if you are giving them 5,000 USD, it could have come after the games. Me personally, I'm not even comfortable.
And if the minister says you're qualified, that 5,000 will be given to the players.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So you see, I'm not too comfortable about even people's money being put outside there. Naturally, when I saw the document, I was uncomfortable. But we can make sure, say, Yama due process have gone through. Without these things, which are not pay, FA so about in the right time, they will respond accordingly.
Yeah.
What are we trying to do? There are a lot of things.
Because if you say, your crucial game watch.
Exactly.
So, Ubana, say, Uber Susan, the attention of the game, no, will be shifted.
Is it rich?
the sports minister should not go on that tangent. I don't think it will help him, and it will not even help Ghana football. I think that the focus should be about helping the country to qualify to wherever they want to qualify. And then it ends there. For be obey this kind of say on the budget symbol and say Ephraim. Don't let it go on. Ephraim, in the meetings, when the Black Stars qualify, you can come back and do a proper press and talk about it. Even after the games, 2 games, boy. Granted, we are successful. You bet me back a press conference, Ghana for we have been very successful in our pursuit with the game against Mali and Chad. Now, even apart from that, kind of from the business point of view, when you ska, so we've gotten good money from the Black Stars. Are you saying it now? In an interview this morning, sports minister on TSC say GFO statement on the ban the chassis. I've never seen the GFO write any statement and put one person's name there. It's a communications publication on their Twitter. It should not be personal. It doesn't help anybody. In that old administration, it happened. Yeah. Sports minister camp, GFA camp. Now, after the Ababaye,
you qualifier. You are the same people. Hey, and you qualify, and you walk up, and you AFCON. Sanya Mankit and Anopay, because I'm about this same budget issues. Yeah. Now, production. Yeah. Mene Fatulu Mune, Zandu Mune discussing. I'm to look. And then maybe one man. To say minister can was slashing. Yeah. And it's change them a kind of thing. Because it's sports to me, a cover be near budget, near the comma, time now, sports minister is a press conference. Now, Black Stars, someone remove. So immediately they get in Jamina and enter their hotel room near Wi-Fi. Hey, the first story. And now, Mokrasena, would you say? It's not good for the players. And here, too kind. Now, Ayala, your budget at the comma finanza. Finance trading was there be Ayala. Mosumo combo 30 and 20 cities. 20 cities. 8 minutes. And you're changing as you have on Jamaica. You can slash it. Obeka corner, let the job be done. Simple. I'm the buy and watch woman, you know, catch on the massa. Or money in this car. Anyway. You know, but you see, Rich, they are just custodians. No, it's about feeding the populace. And you see, a governance. And governments, I feel like the government of the day, the current NDC government, one of the things that is part of their government structure is to make sure that populist stakes is something that they will agree with and then push, whether it's not too right in principle or not. You know, once the populace see that's inconsistent, and because Ghana for the GFA has been unpopular, you pay budget, even if it doesn't help the team. Let us put it out there. But also it has consequences. Let us understand that. Yeah. So every part we are taking it to lead you somewhere. I hope this leads us to the right place. Though. Because your co-worker up. I disagree. Now you gauge the mood of the country. I disagree. Obia akromfo na mu kodisi kan etuba no na ye focus as a game is na free. Sports minister nyadwene da on the question. Mo kan twam samasa. Sasiko yes yam fama mo ye twam. Say twam. Ya no bet my mo. Ye twam, that's all. And when you say chinchina oba bontina and you see the question is too much. Just a couple of weeks ago the minister said that journalists na ready. So what has happened? And that time we was accusing and say your game bo. It didn't say discuss the budget. Now what have changed? Anna Bremena, man, sometimes maybe to be honest, I don't get it.
Where do I even start from? You see, Rich, the quality of leadership in this country is one of your biggest problems. The quality of leadership. Now, Adia Bakwa is defining a quality leader. The one, even in the midst of populism, can stand on the grounds and do the right thing. Even if it's against popular opinion. Rich, there is nothing a kutia accountability. You must be accountable to the people, especially say your musika and I would hear the way and the also boom akun tachere womo. Sure. enti menye sure say Ghana ni bia ebe against the sports ministry ebu akonta edi a kire Ghana for sika ye blasters for nidi. Nobody can say accountability is not good. And President John Mahama, the instruction to the ministry was in simple terms: be accountable to the people. Be accountable. Bunkuntapa. Echira man for na yedi omusika. Elbow blasters in the national team no brano. Now Rich. Beyond sir instruction, the goodness in being accountable. Now who provides our accountability? That is what makes you the person, the leader.
It is a metuasam nasia. Bebu akontano.
Akontano so obu.
But as a more diplomatic situation.
You see, I am not even using the word diplomatic here.
Okay.
Now me say, that goes right into war competence as a leader. And I'll raise few questions. Since NDC abai by omunemi Honorable Kofi Idi as a sports and recreation minister. Rich, say ode child any Mali game we ebeka hwa. We will be playing year 1, 2, 3, 4. And see, yababo ye sit game at the blasters level. 6. So all the child, yes, all the child any Mali we are ebeboy ayenya we kanwa. Now assuming ye nyambo those games, you know. Say Honorable Kofi Idi Adams say Ghana for nyina enhu ni say oyobia wa veli ne ho say obebu akonta de akira omanfo na yemusa Honorable say Honorable and the first 4 games na yebo home to Chad, yeko away to Madagascar, Unity Cup na yakobo against Nigeria and Trinidad and Tobago na ye did the same blasters team na boy no and wa konta we. Can we just move on and say as a oba, you know, or first games are oba as the Minister for Sports and Recreation? Any child name Mali game nana. The first 4 games na yabono, which was under you, the same person, creating the impression so me bu akunta che Ghana for no. Sa akunta bu on the first 4 games na however. Where is it? And it's over. Those first 4 games in our country say in search for Hamading Seminfa and Kuntabuna Honimra, but I thought said na a hunya. Rich, send a hunya there, a banisana all of a sudden Wababinya. But let's even grant him. Say it is better late than never. Say and then Honorable Kofi Adams and who say hunya, say Obua Kuntachre, and then also constantly free baby. Because Nikunte Buono, Ebiakem, the same blasters had played against Chad, has played against Madagascar, Yabo against Nigeria, Yabo against Trinidad and Tobago, under him as the minister, and who are Rich, me whom is an untimin dadame with gimmick. Obey you know, Obey Shano Ash. So bebu akonta dia bunina. But can't try maybe a chum say adia bi hu hia. Na me sin fin can say after the hu hia. Then you start from where you think at your convenience.
Ebiana on a second thought.
And on a second thought. The yabo under you no so way. And then they spend this car. We spend
on your boy hu hia. You move on.
Rich. The subject of accountability. Se ubu akonta inchi akontabu ere ayadia waye o akontabu is afterthought. It is after you've done the thing, then you give us the accountability. That is the reason why I reach So auditors beba company bi mu a auditors no they don't come and work before Uber started spending no. Who are spending a year no. Then the auditors will come and meet the accountants. Even a ubu account of Shika was spent the subject matter of accountable. Rich, any time I will spending answer, and you will read now you see, Sir Honorable Kofi Adams, and to me, I am my accountable on the past Blasters game, and a dear all you know. To cinema me. That is my first thing. Number 2. Rich. Say you can say woo minister. Be bua konta on the budgets. For blasters ho echere ye manfo a. Sebi. Manu susumina so. Ehun be ne hia. For you to purge propose estimated budgets to the one you have approved to achieve what? Yes, be catching be bua contact budget saying any other cover chart animal game no. Me busao in all sincerity and in all absolute reasonability, and who made here for you to tell us say this was the proposed estimate, and that is the one I have approved. We don't need a proposed estimate because I don't know internal matters. The spending is the one you have approved. That is what you need to tell the people. Unless say you want to paint someone black and paint yourself white, you will not go that tangent. Never. You will never go that tangent. Now, Rich, yet if Kwesichumune can answer any auditors bar say ye be audited and I say ye pen kuntabuo ever sports department in Nkwanwa. Na say ye accountant Enoch, any general manager, any the head of the sports, ye could share almost ye bu akunta. Now, omu run here through activities as sports na year within the year. Now, omu bu akunta champion for now. Do you think they will go deep and say, oh, on this day, ye call outdoor ha? Na sports team at the bag say the buy, and ye chairs remu and a approve way. What will he be doing with those details? This is concern I'm good. The budget at the buy no see rich, you see. Unless you want to achieve something, you want to say, oh, some go forward here. Omunye, minamiye. Say, and yes, sir. Then let's tell Honorable Kofi Adams say, Ghana for didn't need the details of the proposed budget, no, because that is not what you are going to spend. The budget itself is the one you have approved. So what is the reasoning of and now come say my way 5,000 and I'm and I'm saying man 2,000? Look, the budget is the one that is approved. The process of budgeting goes through a lot of things, but the budget itself is the approved one. You present that. You see, Rich, for populism's sake, the Kofi Adams say, but in all wisdom, what he has done is it will come back and so he will realize he have made a mistake. He will realize that. Then this is my last point. Okay. Even on the impression, say, yeah, they say by and I'm slashing is saying, no, Rich, Bebre, I am misleading. Bebre, for instance, Honorable Kofi Adams, the proposed budget na e buy no. Na e wo mu say Blasters a game na. Yema players no $10,000. There be on what chum about $5,000. That is deceiving. Because just as you said, 10,000 extra budget in him. Say you qualify to World Cup now, you will end up paying all of it.
It is slashing and slashing day.
My man can't sorry that in because omuna mini omokasa. I sorry that. Say utie me. Na wani aji say minister na say ay na every na say enke wini ye ma place no be 10,000 but or they are 5,000 and she say and this is she way it has been there since Qatar 2022. Rich coach players any omo define you some technical team members mazuas physio equipment officers Mr. Isa Ahmed Muni ademu Rich the minister in the abetu abontin say what omo bonuses in actual fact no and say and started with minister Idi even Mustafa time that was it and say yeah what qualifiers now in the budget it is 10,000 but see we need game prayer what we pay is 5,000. The rest of the 5,000 goes into accumulated sika edaho. See it me qualify ko World Cup na. Matches be a blasters ni winning ye bia na ehye budget nim say 10,000 we calculate the rest of the 5,000 that's nyina put it together and give to the players. Enti asoy dan say wo tie mi a and my minister and I will say I'm part 10,000 and you have to about 5,000. That is not the case. Or 20,000 and you have to about 10,000. That is not the case. In the event to say I qualify to World Cup now, the Yatis or catches a matisuni or Sabaki Karabum and their command as qualification.
You qualify
you see, Rich, say I'm qualifier. What it means is that even in the budgetary allocation, say 5,000 Yechama players now, that should be agreed in the budget. But I'm saying, say, the crocodile jaw of my best slashing, that communication is misleading, because there is a caveat, say, if a certain condition is met, we will come back and pay. Say condition now material, then there's no need for discussion. But I'm saying say I am misleading. Sebi no kwene woman no and check kakra wom efi say ye wo condition bi wo ha. Say esise kimwa. De ye nyina ye bo say wo street so oh ampa na 10,000 ye de about 5,000 no. See eba ki kan bom de akotua if a certain condition is met there. Then rich and she ya na ye nigye no e nada nigye. And that is the point I want to make.
Wrapping up, too heavy.
I dear me who were our budget in my shame. The 5,000 for budget item now. $5,000
for child game
not for child game
any
yes, again. You see, in Central 4, see a year Juma. Ye responsibility. See a back no cratch or mutie and leave opinions to them. Rich no crane say the $5,000 our mubusa for full again and yet for blasters bars and blasters bars the count. Players ni be do airport South Vans na ekọ for mobile eka ho. Referee bar a responsibility. Ti van e de be ma cast e de be ma referee for the omo be nyina to officiate the game. Say ye the fool na be gum. Ni nyina aka ho. Ye opponents Samaliba Rich, we will give them vans for more officials. We will give them a bus for the team. Ni nyina eka ho. Any mu petrol nyina. Mijitum say we can present these facts but still make the point to say cars near 20 mpa within that short time. $5,000 is too much. That is it. That is it. But you see, we should be accurate in our reportage. say 5,000 budget allocation no na involve this no ma we nyina but still now rich. With the 5,000 Ghana cedis, we are talking about over 50,000 Ghana cedis. Now 50,000 Ghana cedis, then even if say a bus is 10 in pop, and you better use within the next 2 weeks in part. You better fool.
That is too much. That is too much.
But let us be accurate.
Okay.
Maybe the no.
Matthias, yeah.
You can't crunch it. Now you see, FA statement here, Mudiabe.
Yeah.
Any honorable Kofi Adams, the Mudiabe. Rich. Yepa yebetime nyachum, but no credit say the communication after the budget already know ede na be kreti apati nti yeba yebe hwepe ye kobo child game ni wie wa we oh mu na no me support
now the other Ghanaian say me am qualify kra they say yepa walk up. Oh, come on from one see I say Kofi Adams is a populist. I don't understand the strategy you want to pull off by doing this. I can only pray it doesn't affect the team for the next 2 matches. Okay.
Amuzu garlic bitters ma moja di afrusani ye blood pressure any cholesterol kofom eyi sciatica yaw eyema stroke ayarefo emam pomuden wani ehunade ye sugar level kofom utumi ehome ye amuzu garlic bitters tumi ma woda na ebi wo herbal any pharmacy shop
ade bia oda sori bia ebi kra obibia so to ne sa ne ma na aja koma ye bom everyday bia no player bia no ebenya $150 a day osori bia anu yesika e de bema players no technical team no benya 200 na bonus na ankasa no almost players no e de ne 5,000 head coach de e 10,000 afei assistant coaches no enzo benya 5,000 and other categories as in the technical officials no hone ubenya doctors no ne team doctors any you know omom kasadema team ni ayiri na no incomions no other categories no so no according to the minister no also omonso ebenya 4,000 dollars and no omonso betimi enyanti players ebeje 5,000 head coach ebeje 10,000 assistant coaches no obi abenya 5,000 and other categories technical officials no omonso ebenya 4,000 and now okay can in na ebuma edian eba 856,890 dollars ye de ekobo child and so a game no. Now this is my question. Na Abidjan phones no Kofi this time shall say they free ho. First of all, Ghana ye pese ekobo World Cup and Uche group ni ma. With these 2 games are here, but a very crucial. See, it means good result. Your chances of your day World Cup no, as well very very bright. Now I cover by the tabans. So over means gauge the mood of the people, as it gauge the mood of the country. As now the focus has shifted from the game near Bonnie Chirano to the budget. It means in Ghana and in this Sebi Wamaya, Yakobo Bessia, and Yadina game back, and it's Gamukodini, and Yadino. Do you think, said the timing of your budget discussions, a babuan going to a Yamiadma or China game now? Now, if any budget meeting, and can in Namfamu.
Rich, I think, say, in every relationship, Biano, there is a need for openness and accountability. Of course, even regular boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, so when you be in Nino Cray and I say, and Papa, many opinions in your honor, and I have drink kakra. So when Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama Efra Benyano Kase, for him, or Jitu Muse, for us to be able to get more love to the Black Stars, I say, Timemu for in near cost of Black Stars. I think that was a good thought. It came from a good place. Also, you see, sometimes I say, I want to be blunt.
And
And it be you should be see a be fragrance of fee. Now you're too blunt. What the minister did was that it was unnecessary. And unim the unnecessitation, and because of idea and then but the timing of it was wrong. So it was unnecessary. And reach unim bibi. ABR referee and Mekao. Do you know that about a couple of weeks ago, the last time a Black Stars ever bought game, the minister was asked about this same Black Stars budget, and he told us, it is not the right time to talk about budget.
Ebi obi beka say when our cash minister.
Okay, and the minister
voice. My minister bring one for budget now, man.
Okay.
Next month, the senior national team, the Black Stars.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We.
What say Ubekaya? Akakakra mabeye na MPs na yakwa football in first game against Chad. Now feeders. Now Central for the play. I'm against her. Then Becca begin for the qualification budget of Wasem. Meaning at that material time and uncle for Bisa budget of Wasem. Assemble one and Bisa say a BM na budget everybody was EFA qualification because said the catcher said my mom $10 and my mom $1 million. Again, as I see, no one say my Yebekano, and no one say my Yebeti at that material movement. And then one, and the best of the team, you said, a bit wrong qualification.
Okay, in terms as I'm now canini. So what changed? Which what explanation on no other mind?
I honestly minim except that maybe he just it's an upfront to let Timothy who say. Like you can see a baby, we've done it regardless of the consequences.
And I Kofi Ebinsua. Say excellence catch and say yeah, but game be make sure say budgeting at the public. And the last one now one approach it in the man was saying problem beyond so our dentist was saying said the problem the TB ever solve the camera at the amount ba onwa me patro call me the most clinic. Yeba boa amawo eye nroni ade abawo kama pa yare bia yehwe yare bia ntimpacha ho mfawa anopeya ana awiai obetimi enso afaka no akọ eye santase ahenema kokoben santase no boase stretch na ye woso mepacha wo de oba na yira frɛ number yi 0244 068 447 na monomu eni eye nkomo aya
Bonfa Stores say omode ye kobuno the Bono Experience 2025 no Bonfa Stores na ede ko na eba so mimini da September 20th nti se wo calendar na September 20th mimini da we ya ebe ni 2 weeks mimini da ebe ni 2 weeks na yanyina ye ko bono ni akonya a fantastic Bono Experience na ye ko no ye ko Botan Caves and Mountains ye ko Fiema Monkey Sanctuary ye ko Kintampo Falls ye ko ye bo akọ canopy walk ye benya ye picnic vibes monkeys na was sanctuary hono yanka sebe mo aduane ene kwadu ni ade ye be ko cave hikes sanu ma nyina no 500 cedis pe ana bonfa si entua na onfo ye nkobro na onko tungu yeso na ye ninje na sa 500 cedis na wutua no ebe ma air condition bars oko ene wo ba ebe ma aduane ne snacks ebe ma entry fees I dey call all these tourist sites no ye be book games ye be bus party. Oh yeah, no asama professional photographers are mama your photo shoots as we go along the experience no we unya bi wo bebia Bonfa Stores na ede sade no ede emayen na ye best start anopa 5 a.m. Ewo Ecocent Road Eija Kumasi eben Victory Baptist Church na ewo Odotobri Rural Bank na echi ewo Tech Junction heya no eho na ye start here 5 a.m. na bus na to buy nyumre 9 there na ya ba be dru Kumasi kama na debia me ka say oni ye bekwa ye de oni krom nsemfo bekwa yenye yasem oni obrafo bekwa yenye yasem oni wiasem nsemfo bekwa yenye yasem ba mo amodo sports ne de some friend number ya me di betu ya munka se mo pesa mo transport for bus nim na ewo anu me bi wo ha eno ye di beka mo ho mun friend 0531 09 006 0531 090068 and that's a 0261 671686 0261 671686 na mo ne Bonfa Stores Bono Experience 2025 no mo ne yan twetwem komo na yen nyina yenko na yenko je no se Bonfa Stores there about study abroad, about work abroad opportunities, internship, any all mobile applications, any assistant. I was at mobile so ye na money be the same medical can we ja Victory Baptist Church no. I work behind Odotobi Rural Bank na. I work at junction wa na ye want to fry na ye nyina ye nhwimbom na entimi nya ni je stronko. I was the Bono Experience 2025 powered by Bonfa Stores Rich.
I'm sorry. Now, don't say no. Actress, you buy na ohima. Benwani obra team na trase at the obra to Anjumadino at the Abraham. Damudina says, I no pay. Muduma Fidiano at two habiti. I could even say, Yamia do me sign anemo Asia. Hey, call his new team away. Mumra na mama fan call Adomna and Kofadum Casiano.